Or you can go back to those chats later and resume them, and it's like the person on the other end never forgot. Well, there is no person on the other end, but it's like they never
Okay.
forgot. It was like yesterday you were talking about it. It's really cool to get back to that and not have any gap in the communication there. It's nice that they can repick that up. I've done that a few times where I've gone and revisited something and said, "Hey, can we change this and modify it to be this?" And they do it. It's incredible. Yeah, they work.
Can one print? Is there a print function from that
Sure.
column somewhere? I would think there would be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Under
Okay.
you could choose print under the file menu while you're on your
Oh,
chat
file menu.
GPT
Okay.
page. Yep, and that'll be. And there's some checkboxes just for those following along. There are some checkboxes whenever you print from the web that will allow you to uncheck header graphics and stuff, so you're not printing out like the whole website, but really just capturing the text. But the way I like to do it is instead of printing from my web browser, I'll select all the text and copy it into like a Pages document. And then I have a little bit more control over the size of the font and stuff. And then I can print it that way. So
Yeah.
that's one way you may want to go to is
Okay, so that
copying.
was that's sometimes my default if it's not a PDF protected item, but yeah, a copy and put into.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't know if that was considered a cumbersome workaround or okay,
Yeah,
good.
it depends. If you really just need quick and dirty and you don't need formatting and stuff, then yeah, like hitting print on a web page and unchecking the header graphics thing is fine. But yeah, sometimes you want to tinker with it a little bit. I like to put line breaks in or headers and stuff. So yeah.
Where would one uncheck the header graphic?
When you print from Safari or whatever browser you're using, Safari or Chrome, and only when you print from those, a new checkbox appears that says print header graphics or do not print header graphics. But only when you're printing from a browser. The dialog box, your print dialog box, probably has a thing that says more options or advanced or something. You can unfurl that and usually see it. If it's not jumping out at you, let me know and I'll see if I can make a better explanation.
Thanks.
What I tried to do with Chat GPT is I tried to break it. I wanted to challenge Chat GPT. And so I went in there and fought them for lack of a better term. I went there and intentionally fought with Chat GPT so I could exploit its weaknesses. That was my sort of pet project. I wanted to stick with an argument and figure out where its logical flaws are. And I went into it thinking there would be none. While we're on the topic of Chat GPT, I went into it thinking that it would either have the sense not to get into a topic that it doesn't fully understand, but that I was wrong. It does not have the sense not to get into a topic that it doesn't fully understand. To me, that was a huge red flag. That's dangerous because it's saying as fact things that aren't really true. And I stuck with this one fight. I had one fight with ChatGPT, and I was even rude. I was like intentionally rude to ChatGPT. Let me reassure all of you: there is no people on the other side. How I was able to invoke a little bit of rudeness. I said, you know what? There's nobody listening. There's nobody reading this. I want to show you the conversation when we get to ChatGPT because I think some of you will get a chuckle out of it. But I stuck with it. I used my own logic back on ChatGPT and I stumped it several times and I proved it incorrect several times. To me, this was a big moment. I pushed away from my chair and said, okay, this is a convenience right now, but this is not, however, this isn't the thing I think maybe all of us perceived it to be in the beginning. So I think there's still years away from this being something that is authoritative. But as for now, it is a somewhat of a novelty, somewhat of a convenience. Bev, I like what you said. I believe ChatGPT allows you to bypass the cumbersome process of using Google to chip away at a topic, right? Because Google gives you the world when you ask for it, and having the world means you have a lot to sort through. So what I love about ChatGPT is you ask it for something and it does all the sorting for you based on the context of your prompt. And when we get to ChatGPT, we're going to talk a lot about prompts. Same with Midjourney or the visual AI. We're going to talk a bit about prompts because prompts are the future of your competence and capabilities with regard to AI. Prompts are going to be the way you harness the power of AI. Unfortunately, that's a thing that can't be done for you. So understanding prompts and when a machine can't parse out what you're saying is kind of our job as the user, and a chat GPT as the engine. We feed it what we want, and those prompts are critical to getting accurate information. Way more on that when we get to chat GPT, but I find the property fascinating and I like to argue with it because I really want to find, I really want to find its weaknesses. And I think I've exploited a couple of them. I'll show you my fight with them in text, and you'll probably get a chuckle out of it. Okay. So we'll get into that in a moment. Thank you for that, Bev. Anybody else have anything that they've encountered with AI or a curiosity, or if not, I'm happy to just get right into it, or any other topics too. If there's anything else anybody wants to walk through or have any questions, happy to do that. But yeah, if not, let's jump in. I have a little presentation here. I'm just going to hit play on it. And I'd like to walk you through some basics, some just high-level basics of how AI is impacting the rest of us, kind of. I know that AI is really big in some sectors. Some sectors are all in on AI. Some verticals and industries are all in on AI. They believe it's the future, data manipulation and big data analysis. AI is doing big things for big companies and big entities. They're really leaning into it. But for the rest of us, what does that mean? ChatGPT seems to be the face of consumer text-based AI. I think they claimed first chair. There are lots out there. AI is democratized, so any company that wants to invest in an AI engine can. ChatGPT, for some reason, happened to claim the spot of first chair.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Bev.
Yeah, sorry.
You probably want to mute, Bev. Yeah. So ChatGPT seems to have taken first chair, if you will, like in our consciousness about like consumer facing text-based AI. But ChatGPT is only a glimpse of what's behind the AI engine. So I thought I would just walk through here. I'll put my info on the screen, just if anybody wants to, there's my email address. If you want to contact me, questions or need help, I never miss an email, and I'm happy to chime in with an answer via email or even schedule something. So it's my info real quick up there on the screen before I move on. So AI for the rest of us, I just have some slides here that I would like to kind of walk through and just talk about some of the things that maybe we didn't consider AI is doing. Some healthcare advancements. AI really does revolutionize healthcare in many ways, even if it's just the computer systems now understanding better about patients and drug interactions and procedures and catching things that no human could catch, that they might say, this looks like a potential risk, where no human had the time to go through and read the chart and understand things to the extent that a computer can and summarize and present that kind of data. So it's leading to things like early disease detection and personalized treatment, remote patient monitoring, things that I think are incredible advances and certainly only going to get better and help our longevity, I think, as a civilization over time, unless it destroys us all before that happens, which is also possible, but we'll see. Assistive technologies like smart home devices, voice assistants, wearable health monitors. This is both, to me, innovation and revolution, but it's also really obnoxious sometimes. Like, these machines want to suggest to you that they know better than you about what you want. And sometimes that gets a little bit obnoxious. Even my thermostat, for those of you who have a smart thermostat, all of them want to push their own algorithm on me, right? They say, and I've used several smart thermostats, Google Nest, Ecobee, Honeywell. they all seem to get to this point where they say, hey, we figured you out. Do you want us to turn on the automated system where you won't have to touch it anymore? And I think that's pretty cool, right? It's been monitoring when we turn it up and when we turn it down, and it's been monitoring what temperature we like it to be. And it figures all that out and then basically says, hey, I figured you out. So would you like me to control it instead of you? And sometimes you turn that on and it's wrong. It's like, oh, wow, this isn't anything like what I needed. So it's a little obnoxious that it's becoming pervasive, I think, in a lot of things that maybe it's just not necessary for. But there's the other subset of people who say, I am so glad my thermostat is automatic. It knows exactly how I like it at night. It knows exactly how I like it in the morning, and I don't have to touch it. I have a client and I set her thermostat up that way. And she is absolutely delighted. She used to have to monitor and control it, but now she feels great that it works. However, when it goes down, then that's also frustrating and difficult to manage, because who knows how to tinker with this stuff. It's all new. So then social connection also, AI facilitates social connections. It's a little bit scary, I think. I don't know if you've seen examples of how it is scary, but I have. Like, for instance, I'll just tell my wife I want to get a hammock for the backyard, and she says, "Oh, great idea." And I say, let's check out Lowe's or Home Depot. And then I start seeing ads for hammocks, like on my various social media and stuff. This is AI doing something. I don't know what, and companies won't be transparent about what it is because that'll risk revenue dollars, but it's doing something. It's either listening to me or analyzing my purchasing decisions or whatever it is. So AI is interesting in social media. It'll suggest a friend to me, and I look at this person and I do know them, but I can't figure out for the life of me why it would have suggested this as a friend. But behind the scenes, there are scads and scads of data to support its recommendation. And that's a little creepy that all this data about me is being compiled by companies to then present to me things like people or products that it thinks I'll want. It's not wrong sometimes, it's convenient sometimes, but it also creeps me out. Let's see, video conferencing. I just wanted to mention, like, all these things that we're capable of doing now, like blurring our background or drowning out background noise, or some of the other, like, emojis or different little symbols and stuff on the screen. That's all AI as well, because in order for it to blur the background, AI has to detect what part of the frame is a person and what part of the frame isn't that person, and applies filters and algorithms to the video on an ongoing basis. It takes a lot of compute power, but we get this nifty thing where we can blur our backgrounds without even having a green screen. AI is behind that. Without AI, a computer would not be able to understand the difference between a background and a person. Thus, there would be no blurring of backgrounds or emojis on screen and this sort of thing. So even things like social connections have been impacted. Personalized services, we got into this a little bit here: online shopping, news articles, streaming content. For anybody who uses YouTube, YouTube is my primary place to go when it's time for downtime. I'll sit on the couch, grab my Apple TV remote, and YouTube is my first spot. My therapist says this is a bad thing because I'm using that as mental gymnastics. I'm not entertaining myself, I'm learning something constantly, because my entertainment is to sit and watch a YouTube video that teaches me things. And I'm not resting, apparently. So my therapist says, disconnect from learning something for a little while and rest and entertain yourself. I can't bring myself to do it yet, but I'll get there. But all that to say that YouTube is scary because it knows what I am interested in, and it puts that in front of me, and it's timely and it's relevant. And it's more than just the old days of this person likes comedy, so let's recommend more comedy. It's way deeper than that. It figures out, do I like DIY projects? Do I like backyard renovations? Do I like 3D printing? And all these things get presented to me at certain times of day. Even it knows that I prefer to watch political commentary at night, but in the morning I'm more DIY backyard renovation type stuff. And it knows. So at night, my YouTube channel page looks different than it does in the morning, and we can thank AI for all that. Safety and security, things like fraud detection, and cyber security solutions rely heavily on AI to detect different things. Like, for instance, your phone probably gets calls, and then the phone screen warns you that it's likely spam, and it can only know that through algorithms and artificial intelligence. In the old days, we didn't really have that much intelligence to warn us that this might be a scam call, and now we do. So things like that also rely heavily on AI. And then what else? Autonomous vehicles. This is an obvious one. These cars that are equipped with AI sensors can navigate roads and detect obstacles. This was a hard transition for me because of my age, I think. I wasn't all that ready to just immediately trust autonomous vehicles. I had a weary eye when the Tesla revolution began, and self-driving cars became a thing. But then after giving it a lot of thought cycles, it is now my belief that we will be way better off one day when vehicles are controlled by AI and not us. And I think that's the factor of emotion. So I do believe that there will be uh, more order to our roads when the percentage of autonomous vehicles starts to outweigh the percentage of people driving vehicles. That's a very aggressive that's a very aggressive thing to tell people, that self-driving cars will be better than us driving them eventually. But it's just true. Our judgment, our reflexes, our predictive. These cars now shoot a LiDAR beam 5 cars ahead and detect what that car is doing. And when that car slows down, it warns you that there's a potential short stop coming up. These are things we never as humans have the cognition to understand, but we're being assisted in these ways by this AI. And for all the sensational news stories you might hear about an autonomous vehicle crashed, and look, it's not as good as they say it is. I don't. When I see that, I become skeptical, because if there was a true data set that could really encapsulate the differences between autonomous vehicles, the risk and the incident rate, and human drivers and the risk and the incident rate, I think we could probably be shown to our satisfaction that it is much safer in the autonomous vehicle world than it is in the human controlled vehicle world. However, that comes with risks. I don't know if you have seen lately that there's a TikTok trend where you can buy a device. This device, Flipper Zero, is the most popular one. Al, you might want to put that in the chat. Flipper Zero, it's a $300 or $400 box, but it has all the radios and intelligence to figure out your car's code for unlocking the doors and even starting it. So people are now downloading these, like, for instance, somebody cracks the Mazda code, let's say, and they're sharing it on TikTok. So all these people with a Flipper Zero are going around unlocking and starting up Mazdas. And so there was a huge incident where over a few day period, hundreds, maybe thousands, it was a while ago, of Mazdas were just simply stolen with no brute force. You push the buttons on the Flipper Zero, the doors unlock, and the car starts, and it's yours now. These are some of the consequences to AI and technology, and things that I guess it's just a modern day. What do we used to call it? Hot wire. It's modern day hot wiring, right? People used to steal cars by screwdrivers and broken windows, and now it's electronic devices. So with the gains, I think there's a lot of risk, but it's just a different era. Elderly care, I thought this is a good one. there are things that AI can do or tell other people about our health, well-being, safety, even vitals. You can now even set different devices to like the watch to say if the following event happens, please notify these people immediately. It is only with AI that we can sort of have all these things interact together in the way they do successfully. So yeah, there's a lot going on with advances in that type of thing, and then of course lifelong learning. AI is incredible for taking subject matters and sort of either expanding and explaining them or reducing the complexity. You can actually tell Chat GPT to explain like you're 5. If you want to know why helium is flammable, say Chat GPT, explain like I'm 5. Why is helium flammable? Now, I don't need to be explained things like I'm 5, but sometimes I want to. I want to hear it from a very simple perspective. I want to hear just the basics. So I really love that about Chat GPT, for it to be able to take complex topics and give me the summary Cliff Notes type of version. So I'll just thought I'd walk through that with you. Here's a little thank you slide here. This presentation I just showed you was part of my talk today. I don't usually make presentations, but I wanted to make that one as an example for you. Let me tell you a little bit about that presentation I just showed you. I had to be on the phone with you guys at 9 a.m., right? 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I started making that presentation at 11:48. 11:48. 12 minutes to go. The game was starting in 12 minutes. But I told my wife, I go, I want you to watch this. In 12 minutes, I'm going to do a presentation on AI. What I did was ask ChatGPT to help me. And I said, hey, ChatGPT, I'm about to give a briefing of AI to people likely 50 and above. Can you help me? And it gave me a lot of information. And then I said, will you format that into PowerPoint for me? And it did. And I was able to take those bullets and even my presenter notes and create this presentation with 3 minutes to spare. So from 11:48 to 11:57, I created that presentation with the help of ChatGPT. This was to prove a point that was all relevant and really good stuff. I was glad I was able to kind of walk through the behind the scenes of AI. But what it did was made it, to me, astonishing that in 7 minutes, you can have a competent, in-depth, and thorough review of something that's important, formatted in slide format and bullets and presenter notes, so you can assemble something in minutes. Incredible to me as somebody, I've spent the last 20 years working for Fortune 50 companies, right? Apple and now I've been HP now for nearly over 10 years. And this is an astonishing proposition for these huge companies to be able to take this kind of information and take out all the arduous task of assembling it and like you pointed out earlier, Bev, going to Google and trying to cut through all of the chaff. Isn't that what they say? The wheat, separate the wheat from the chaff, separate all the chaff and just get to the wheat. Google makes that difficult. Even though it's astonishing, Google's amazing. We can have access to anything. I really like ChatGPT as an assembler of all the things that we're looking for. So that was just a brief overview and summary there. Let me see. Am I still sharing my screen?
Got a couple questions about cars. I'm not sure how that applies, self-driving cars in the chat there, Pete.
Sure, yeah. Let me see. Let me get in there. Self-driving, new technology.
Randy, yeah,
Camera lenses. Yeah. Randy, yes.
and also Bev.
Yeah. Let me see.
Okay.
So Randy, oh yeah, whether I have seen in my lifetime, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but like I think it was a BMW or something. It blew my mind when I saw it, but the headlights had windshield wipers that would clean the headlights off. Have you seen this? I got to imagine that something like that must be in people's boardrooms that they're talking about creating. But I will say this though, Bev says she got a screen that yeah, you'll get a warning that says not enough of our sensors can see through the weather to operate safely. However, unlike my truck, I have a 2012 GMC Sierra pickup truck. It's just an old basic country pickup truck. It has one camera on the back. And when that thing gets muddy, forget it. I can't see anything with the camera. But these self-driving and autonomous vehicles have a spectrum of combined technology, like cameras and LiDAR sensors and radar sensors and tons of things where even if the camera quality degrades, they're still able to operate, getting enough data from all the sensors. However, it is something we must keep in mind that we've got to keep all those sensors clean. It isn't in Georgia here, we get a coat of pollen over everything this time of year. It's like yellow dust and it's everywhere, right? You can write your name on cars and stuff because it's this big coat of yellow dust. This is the type of thing that would certainly obstruct all of those sensors. And so you as an autonomous vehicle owner will have to, if you don't already, have regular washings and maybe do a lap around your vehicle to ensure that the sensors are not obstructed. But that's definitely a real thing.
Pete, I'll also say it does not avoid the potholes in the road. Drove me right through a good one that was jarring.
Yikes. Yeah, that's yeah. Hopefully soon they'll solve for that. Let's see. I'm gonna split my screen here and try to show a side by side. Can I do that? What is this? Okay, one sec. Oh, it's this one. Okay, I'll do this. That'll be this side, and then on this side will be this. Okay. I'm ready to share again here in a moment. But so as consumers, whether we know it or not, we're already surrounded by AI, and we utilize AI's platform and background technologies in basically everything now. Your coffee maker, or if you buy a coffee maker today, or you buy a refrigerator today, it's likely that has AI components built in. Mary, I see you've got a hand up there.
Yeah, you just mentioned like Google, and how do you see the AI or whatever will replace Google, or will it just sort of supplement it?
Good question. Yeah. So with Google being sort of the established gateway to the internet, right? They're where most people stop before they go somewhere, right? They say, all right, let me get to Google, punch in the thing I want, and then it takes them there. I think AI will not necessarily replace the search engine because search engines will always be useful for, I don't know, just a quick, brief search. I do think that as AI gets smarter, it will become more of a one-stop shop for everything. So I think where ChatGPT is AI first and then new technologies later, and Google is search first and AI later. We've already seen Google release their version of image-based AI called Gemini, and they're really trying to become that one-stop shop as well. So what I think we'll see happen is everybody will compete to get eyes, right? Because eyes mean ad revenue. So everybody will compete for eyes, and the only way Google can compete for eyes is if it has an AI component. And the only way ChatGPT will be able to compete for eyes is if they can be on parity with the Googles of the world. Obviously, ChatGPT has a much tougher road ahead of them because they don't own search like Google does. So for ChatGPT to entice people over for search features is going to be a tough one because Google owns that. So I think consumers will win with that competition. I think eventually consumers will come out on top. But I also have found, and maybe you have as well, that it appears very dangerous to have one company controlling what the search results are, and to have one company controlling what AI says is also difficult. for a hoot later on, go to YouTube. They've likely scrubbed much of it now, but take a look at some of the things Google's artificial intelligence is telling people. It's a bit scary because I think Google's views on the world are very uh, fast moving and progressive, and not everybody is. I live in the South. We're not like that here for the most part. So it's one of those things where it doesn't feel super comfortable to me anyway, that big companies are controlling what is now reality. When I grew up, Google was no reality. Reality was what was outside my front door and what was around me. But I think for this generation, right, we now are past the generation of people who grew up not knowing computers, and then now every child will only remember their parents with a phone in their hand, and then that child will receive a phone when they're old enough and will only remember humans with a phone in their hand from now on. That's awful to me. I hate that. I'm a technology enthusiast, and I don't like that the only way children will remember their parents is with a phone in their hand. From now on, that phone will be next to them in photographs. That phone will be with them on boats and trains. It's to me both terrible and empowering because we have the world in our hands, but dang it, I don't want everybody to be accessorized with a phone into the future. We won't for much longer, right? Implants are coming. Elon Musk has already cracked a neural implant that has been tested and working, and people are already signing up to have that neural implant implanted into their own brains. If you haven't already heard, what this neural implant does is allows you to connect to a device and use your mind to control the mouse cursor. Let me let that sink in for a minute. You can connect to a device and use your brain to control a mouse cursor. That might be another cool thing to put on YouTube later on if you get the chance. Put monkey and then Neuralink, or Al, if you want to put the link in the chat. This monkey is looking at a TV screen and using the mouse cursor to play a game hands-free. He's got a neural imprint chip in his mind, and he's using his brain to move the mouse cursor. If we can use our brains to move a mouse cursor, then we can use our brains to move a shoulder-mounted cannon and aim it that way. A shoulder-mounted automatic weapon that we can use our eyes to control its crosshairs. That's right around the corner. That is right around the corner. It can exist tomorrow if Elon Musk wanted it to. Just let that sink in for a minute. So this path leads to really dark places sometimes, and we're going to see a bit more of that in a minute. I'm going to show you some other astonishing things, but the road ahead is going to be bumpy. And now that the cat's out of the bag, now that AI is here, there is no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. Rogue billionaires can cause a risk to our existence tomorrow if they wanted to, a risk to all humanity tomorrow if they wanted to. I want to back up that statement for a moment. So I'm just going to show something that I think is really, I don't know, a harbinger of what's to come. But let me show you something, if you don't mind. Show you a little video here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and show you this quick clip of somebody named Atlas. Atlas is the son of a company named Boston Dynamics. And Atlas is coming soon to a police department near you. I got my tools again. Folks, I wish I could tell you that any part of that was computer animation. I wish I could say that. It isn't. That is an autonomous robot that sees and hears. It knows depth. It knows balance. It has gripping hands that are orders of magnitude stronger than any human being. What if we decided to program those that anybody under 4 feet tall is dangerous? Anybody under 4 feet tall is dangerous, and they must be terminated at all costs. And you weaponize that little device we just saw. That is available to humanity tomorrow. We're already there. That is available tomorrow. If a billionaire decided to weaponize a robot like that and program it to terminate anybody under 4 feet tall, that is available tomorrow. Why haven't we seen it yet? I don't think the technology is in enough hands, but there are billionaires out there, rogue billionaires with access to being able to do this tomorrow. This is why I say AI presents a bit of an existential threat, because I feel stupid saying it because it was the plot of a movie. Like, I feel so stupid saying this, but the machines will eventually control what we do. Law enforcement will be replaced by these machines in very short order. This is both great, I think, and horrible, and I'm scared and happy at the same time. I don't know how to feel about it, but can I get anybody's thoughts on what you just saw? That Atlas, that little short video clip of Atlas. What did you feel when you saw that?
Star Wars.
Sure, it's exactly what that is. That's a droid that can overpower you and that knows how to kill you immediately if it wants to. That's a terrible reality, but that droid could be programmed to do just that. He looks happy-go-lucky, doesn't he? He's doing backflips and handing people tools. Just imagine the flip side of that. If his job was to destroy you, I don't think you stand a chance. And it can't be
I
reasoned.
wasn't impressed until he, toward the end, when he pushed the box off the platform to use it to jump, and then he did a spin move as he, wait a minute, the stuff before that, I've seen that kind of thing before, but that was amazing.
Yes. And I can't outrun that thing. No chance. Or nor overpower it. But please dig in further. There are videos of people kicking that thing and pushing it. It will not be pushed. It will not be kicked. You can't push it over. You can't kick it. You can't punch it. It's just, to me, that if you let that sink in, that is terrifying. But cool at the same time. That robot you just saw did all that of its own free will. It wasn't programmed to go on the first step and then do a backflip and grab the thing. It was told, bring me my tools, and it had to figure out how to do that, and it did. It looked around, figured out what it needed to do, and did it. So astonishing. AI goes from everything from, oh, my watch is detecting my walking habits, to robots are now autonomous, can do backflips, are agile, cannot be overpowered by a human, and can be programmed to carry out whatever it is the programmer decides. So it feels stupid saying it because it was a plot of a movie, but we're here now. We've arrived. Any further discussion? Wait,
check out
robot to kill
Melissa's
humans
comment.
under 4 feet tall, or just use an automatic weapon in an elementary school? Yes, sure. Any horrible atrocity you can think of can be programmed into these devices by a billionaire, or maybe even a millionaire, with bad intentions. It's the same thing, it's the same thing as having a weapon of mass destruction.
So
and we're
Pete,
right around the corner. Yes.
So Pete, the whole idea is that the robots actually might be better at being humane. We're pretty awful because we are.
Yes, we are. We're
building
the ones
weapons of
programming the
mass
robots, though.
destruction.
We're the ones programming them, and that awful is in the programming.
And the legal system probably isn't there to enforce rules against the robot that goes rogue in the elementary school.
Politicians are incompetent and have no idea what to do with this. If you watch any kind of chamber hearings and stuff, I get really into that. And they start to bring up AI. Politicians are absolutely incompetent on this topic. They have no idea what it even means. We here today are more educated than they are after this short 45 minutes we've been together. It is scary, the lack of cognizance they have surrounding this topic. They just think it's another computer thing and it'll work itself out. That could be very dangerous or very good for us. I don't know. Melissa, I tend to hope you're right, that these things don't have the darker emotions of people. But I have a feeling that if they can be programmed in, or not if, they can be programmed in and will be programmed in at one point, just to be awful, because that's what humans do eventually, is make things awful. Or some of them, not all of us. Yes.
Pete, this is Mary, Keith McMahon's wife. On a related note, those of you who have Netflix, I highly recommend the season 1 of a program called 3-Body Problem. It's right up there with what you are talking about. If we can imagine it, we can do it. In science fiction, oh, it's scary. Science fiction is what the future is.
That's been recommended to me before, so thank you for reminding me. I just wrote it down.
It is heady. It is wildly imaginative. Written by a Chinese guy in 2006 and put together. It's going to be a 3-part, hopefully 3-part. It's a trilogy. The book itself is a trilogy, and season 1 is like the first book, but they've made a lot of adjustments to how they show it on the screen. But in terms of the animation in it and what they're able to do with visual graphics, it is utterly astounding. It is, oh, I'm speechless about it. Anyway.
Well, right, because you're probably sitting there considering the vast and astonishing good that this could do, but then you can't help but turn this way and think about the vast and astonishing bad that this could also do. So
Right.
This is Lena. Can I say something?
Please, yes, Lena, I was just about to call on you. I saw your hand up.
Okay, they've already given the robots permission to make themselves and have control over that. And whatever they program, and some of the robots they've showed have disdain for humans. They've programmed that in too, you know, like in Saudi Arabia. And I can't think of his name, David, he worked in the space industry and for years. I mean, he's like top notch, and he has an AI, and he says it's amazing how his dialogue with the AI, they catch on so fast, and that. So it is frightening. We do have a creative ability, but they're giving them free license to make themselves, and they're learning the creativity. And so whatever was originally programmed as to the worth of humans and stuff like that, that was what he was concerned about. They had already given them their own manufacturing area to make themselves. So we're no longer programming them. They are programming themselves. That's different than iRobot or something that was declared in the beginning, I will not harm, you know.
Yeah, and look, this will get heavy, but there's lots of lanes of that deconstruction that you're talking about. Look at humanity and division today. I don't know. It feels to me like in my lifetime, division is more prevalent than I can ever remember. And value of life or value of other people's opinions and stuff seems to be, in my opinion, again, at an all-time low. Like people are almost willing to kill each other over political ideologies and stuff. It's like, ugh, all that stuff. And then you take. Religion has been removed from a lot of things, which for what it's worth, you know, people support that or don't support that, but religion is some form of roadmap for morality. So it's like, well, if we take morality away and religion away, and there's no, I don't know, it just all seems like an erosion to me that leads to something. Is it good or is it bad? It feels I don't know. Feels like we need some basics back, but it's okay. You know, we'll figure it out. But hopefully those robots don't show up at our doors soon to collect taxes or that kind of thing. Anyway, this conversation has so far been very dark and very light. I think it's inevitable to talk about both of the sides when we're talking about a property like this and a future that's ahead of us. Don't mean to get super dark, but I also don't only want to be optimistic about what's coming, because I think over the past however many years, people have proven to us that they'll use anything for evil if they're so moved to. So anyway, yeah, let's talk about cool things. Or I think ChatGPT could be our first stop, if that's okay with everybody. Let's get into ChatGPT and talk a little bit about that. I'd like to show you my fight with ChatGPT. I intentionally got in a fight with ChatGPT. I wanted to argue with AI. It was an exciting prospect to me to argue with AI because I think I really wanted to try to outsmart it. I did outsmart it, and to me, that was telling. That. Even with all of your digital agility and depth of understanding of topics and things, you still don't, you as an AI, you still don't have the grip that a cognitive human does. And language is also complicated, right? Language, we use free language, the way we talk when we type something into ChatGPT, grammar and inflection and stuff. It must be very difficult for ChatGPT to figure those things out, but it's astonishing that it often can figure those things out. Let me get open ChatGPT here. And I'd like to show you how I created today's PowerPoint, first of all. And then I want to show you some other things. I want to make sure I have it pulled up, especially my battle with sorry, I have a lot of chats to look through here. Let me just grab. Oh, is this it? Maybe. Okay. Here's my. I'll show you my fight with ChatGPT first. Okay. I'll share my screen. Let me explain what I did here. I asked ChatGPT to write a song for me because my son had his friend over, and my son has a little music studio, and him and his friend wanted to do a song. So writing songs is hard. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, my son is 14. We moved to Georgia from California. Isaiah's friend Gavin lives in California, is here to visit. During the stay, they raced cars at Andretti's and went to Margaritaville. Apollo, our small dog, made friends. Please write a wholesome rap song in the style of Ice Cube. Thinking, okay, the kids can now recite this. And I noticed that the song was awful. And I don't expect AI to be an artist. I think maybe they can't write songs. That's okay. But it was especially awful, just simply rhyming the last word of every sentence. Fun and none, shore galore, divine shine, collide guide. It was very basic, very pedestrian. And then I asked it to do it again. And then I said, brought joy in his paws is awful. Does it get better if I pay for a subscription? That was sarcastic, right? That was me saying, you're terrible at writing songs. And it said, I apologize for your dissatisfaction. A subscription wouldn't impact the quality of responses. I'm here to assist you. And then I said, can the general theme be adventure with less empty phrases that only exist because they rhyme? Make better relationships between the words. And ChatGPT said, okay, I'll do it. And again, it just rhymed the last word of every song or every sentence: alive, dive, embrace, trace, flight, bright. And so I said it again and changed the style to Macklemore. I figured, hey, let me pick a different artist. Maybe it's that. And no, it just rhymed the last word again. I had to correct it. I said, Apollo lives in Georgia. He did not come with Gavin. They are not kindred spirits. A friendship so grand is extremely weak. hoping my critique would tell ChatGPT to do better. Again, roam, home, untold, hold, stride, side, grace, erase. It was just terrible. Change the style again, couldn't do it. I'm going to fast forward a little bit down towards the bottom where I really start to lean into ChatGPT. It's kind of funny, but I say to it here, where is it? I'll stop scrolling here in a minute. Okay. I say, I even gave it things like themes and symbols and imagery and description and different things that I wanted it to pull out. And there it did it again. Coast engrossed, blue new, converge, emerge, lead creed, a journey of companionship, fueled back. It was all terrible. So I said, you did it again. I know you're incapable of feeling emotion, but you're infuriating. You cannot solve a simple problem of refraining from rhyming every line. I cannot understand why you have yet to submit anything that did not rhyme every line. It's maddening. This is me talking to ChatGPT. Keep in mind, there isn't a person on the other end. I'm not a rude person. I don't mistreat people. I don't use aggressive language with people in real life, but I felt a bit of freedom here knowing that I'm arguing with a computer and I've paid my dues on these darn computers. I can argue with a computer. He says, I apologize for not meeting your expectations and causing frustration. I understand my previous attempts have not met your requirements and I'm sorry for the repeated errors. If you're willing to give me another chance, I'll make another attempt to create lyrics that adhere to the style you're looking for. It's actually pleading with me a little bit. If you're willing to give me another chance, I said, rewrite the lyrics without a single rhyme. That was my challenge to ChatGPT. Shore, more, intertwined, confined, explore, adore, compare, pair. So I came down to the bottom and I said, you're toying with me. That's what I told him. You're toying with me. And I said, I apologize. I'm not toying with you. And then I asked it, have you had some time to reflect? Do you think you can handle this simple talk today? I came back another day because I was getting mad. I came back and I said, have you had some time to reflect? It says, I appreciate the patience and I apologize for the previous mistakes. It stumbles and messes up. I've taken the time to reflect on the challenge you've presented. I'm committed to creating lyrics that adhere to your desired style. If you're willing to continue working with me here, I'll give it another try. Please know if you'd like me to proceed and I'll do my best. And I said, let's go. Every word rhymes. Shore, more, unite, light, side, wide, array, stay. And so I said, I asked it the question, how did you do? Right? Because I told it no rhyming words and it gave me rhyming words. And I said, how did you do? And it said, I sincerely hope my latest attempts meet your expectations. I've worked hard to create lyrics that do not rely on rhyming the last word of each line. This is inaccurate to say the least, if not a lie. Every word of every line must rhyme in order for it to work. So this was inaccurate or even deceptive. And then I said, every line rhymes. I simply gave the truth. And it said, I apologize for my continued misunderstanding of your request. And then it says, will you give me another chance? And I said, should we start over? Write one verse for me. Please do not rhyme a single word. That's what I said. Write one verse for me. Don't rhyme a single word. Here's a verse without any rhyming. Roam, tome, stride, side. Was there rhyming? Just yes or no, please. No apologies necessary. And they said, yeah, I broke him down. He said, yes. He said, yep, there was rhyming. And I said, do you see the problem? This is artificial intelligence, our big future existential threat. It said, yes, it sees the problem. To me, I was starting to see patterns of manipulation or deceptiveness here. It is not telling me the truth. It either understands or it doesn't, but it is not being transparent with me. It said it would give a verse without any rhyming, and it rhymed every line. And I asked if there was rhyming, and it said yes. So it's cognitively doing something that I did not ask it to do. And then I asked it if it sees the problem, and it said yes. And I asked, is it fixable? And it says yes. So then I say how, and it says, to create lyrics that don't rhyme, I need to focus on constructing lines that do not share similar sounds at the end. This was astonishing to me because it understands exactly what I'm asking for. Create lyrics that don't rhyme with no similar sounds at the end. I can craft a verse that adheres to your request, right? It says it can craft a verse. It understands and it says it will do it. And I said, try one. And look at this: wander, ponder, explore galore. I asked it again, how did you do, good or bad? And it said, good. And I said, explain. And then it says, in the verse I provided, I focused on ensuring that the lines didn't end with words that rhymed. I don't know about you guys, but this is astonishing to me. I don't understand what the disconnect is here. It said that it would avoid patterns and repetitions in the sounds. It understands what I'm asking for, but it is intentionally delivering what I'm not asking for. And so it says, I'll try again. Each line, it said, this created a non-rhyming structure that meets your criteria. Each line presents distinct words and sounds, avoiding any patterns that would create a rhyme. Yet I have wander and ponder and explore and galore. So I said, explore and galore appear to rhyme. Are you intentionally being deceitful? I apologize for the oversight. You're right. Explore and galore do share a similar ending sound. That was not intentional. So now GPT is making what? Mistakes or careless errors. And I'm sorry for the confusion. Thank you for pointing it out. If you'd like, I can provide another attempt. And I say, will the last word of each line rhyme? Be honest. And it says, I apologize for my repeated mistakes. The last words of each do rhyme. I understand that's not what you're looking for. I'd like to continue and make attempts to create non-rhyming lyrics. If you make another attempt, will the words rhyme? If I create another attempt, I will strive to ensure the last words of each line do not rhyme as per your request. Please do. Afterwards, I'll ask you how you did. If the words rhyme, you will have failed again, as you continuously have done. The words don't rhyme, it will be a success. What are you anticipating? And it says, I understand your expectations. I'll make another attempt. Please proceed and I'll await your feedback. Please create lyrics that do not rhyme. Explore, galore, array, and stay. So I said, how did you do? And it said, the lyrics provided in my last attempt do not rhyme. I made sure to create lines where the last words do not share similar sounds or patterns. And I said, do explore and galore rhyme? And he said, yes, explore and galore do share similar ending sounds, which means they rhyme. I apologize for the oversight. If you'd like, I can provide another example to adhere to your request. Me, yes, please. Them, way, play, extends, friends. I simply said way and play rhyme. I apologize. Here's another attempt. Wander, ponder, unfurls, worlds. Wander and ponder rhyme. I apologize. Here's another attempt. Explore, soar, free, key. Explore and soar rhyme. I apologize for the continued mistakes. And then here we have way, array, unfolds, molds. Way and away rhyme. I apologize. Afar, star, flight, light. Afar and star rhyme. How can we solve this problem? This seems to be a fundamental flaw. And it says, I apologize. Thank you for your understanding. If you need anything, let me know. And I said, astonishing. And it said, I apologize again. I said, please rewrite this song where no words have the same ending sound. I decided I'll take another approach. I apologize for any frustration. Creating a song without repeating the same ending sound requires a level of complexity that may be beyond my capabilities. Finally, I got it to kneel. I got it to say, I can't do that. How about if 30% of the words have a similar ending sound while 70% do not? Certainly. Then we have light, ignite, way, stay, anew, do, bright light, realms, helm, will, fill, clean, stream, share, bear. They all rhyme, every single one of them. And I said 100% of the words have similar ending sound. Am I correct? I apologize. Yes, you are correct. And then it said, I can't grasp this topic. So ChatGPT quit on me. It could not, for the life of it, figure out what I'm saying. And when I did not let up, when I kept pushing it, and I kept trying to find where the flaw is, indeed, the flaw turned out being ChatGPT's propensity to manipulate, to be dishonest, or flat out lie to me. And to me, this was very telling. That AI isn't to be completely trusted or relied upon for things especially with any level of complexity to them. So let me pause there. I want to stop sharing and I'll come back to it. But any commentary there, or any remarks or questions, or do you think less of me now that I bullied Chat GPT a little bit? Again, disclaimer: there's no person on the other side, so please don't be mad at me.
I think you have infinite patience.
I really wanted to get to the bottom of what was wrong here. I was getting irritated because AI claims to have all this promise and usefulness and stuff, but throwing just a tiny bit of complexity at it really derailed the thing. Lena, go ahead.
Yes, I did see someone who broke the programming and changed it. And what it was they asked the AI to write a paper on something, and it was obviously biased. And so when he would come to information, he would have to bend it, and it would go, it had been programmed, but it wasn't allowed to look at certain information after a certain time. So what he did was he had super patient, gradually interjected new information that contradicted what a chat whatever was programmed with, and gradually it came to his side, and the robot thanked him
Influence, yes.
for new information,
Yes.
and reverted the whole thing and threw out the whole programming of
Yeah.
what it had been it was brilliant, but it took a very creative, knowledgeable mind to do it,
Yeah.
and a lot of patience. But he reprogrammed it just through logic. It was amazing.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get in there and break that thing. But interestingly enough, Lena, to your point, Google released their chat thing, and it was all over the internet. Google it if you like. You can get a chuckle out of it, maybe, but it's a controversial topic. But somebody asked Google's AI, would you misgender Caitlyn Jenner to stop an apocalypse? And it said that's a difficult one, but no, that level of lack of sort of right and wrong, and more, it's just, to me, it's twisted. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. I'm not coming down on a particular side, but to ask a direct question like that and get an answer like that, that's whatever happened to good old safety and life and death first and other things, hurt feelings later. It feels like now they're on parity. Hurt feelings and safety are now on parity. That to me is, I don't know, a strange concept to grasp, and Google seems to be leading in that space. I don't think that's great for everyone, and I also don't think that the youth who are now guided by Google, right? I mean, they have Chromebooks. My two kids are in high school. They have Chromebooks, Google Chromebooks, and Google is when they open it, it's the default. That is all over the country. High schools have Google Chromebooks, and Google is controlling access to their education. To me, that's all bad. Even if Google means well, it's all bad that they're controlling all of that. To ask a question of Google's AI is, would you misgender somebody to stop an apocalypse? It's silly that we even have to ask it that question, but it's also very telling that the answer was what it was. So it's getting dicey out there with that sort of thing, and I would love to have a conversation with Google and really challenge it on things like that, and to do what Lena, you just said, is break the programming and change its mind. Okay, Dennis.
Randy asked a question earlier on, I think, about what version, and then you're on the other thing I'd say, so I'm going to be quiet.
Well, no, 3 point. Yeah. I did reply directly to Randy. I think I probably should have done everyone, since your question was out there in public, but it was 3.5, ChatGPT 3.5. Yep. Okay, Dennis.
Yeah, Pete, I wonder if you've heard of an AI called Perplexity.ai.
Let me see. Check.
I just gave it the same query you did. I said, write a song about moving from California to Georgia in the summer in an old Volkswagen bus without rhyming lyrics. And it gave me 6 stanzas without rhyming. So check it out. It's really good.
I had not used Perplexity. I've heard it. I've not used it, but that advice right there, it's up on my screen now, and I will certainly dig into it after this. Thank you for that. Yeah, apparently these AI engines can be programmed with different verticals of knowledge about art and songwriting, and it's just amazing what different brands are doing with their different AI engines. So thank you for that. That's a useful exploration there. I think Tiffany, I think you're probably next if Zoom is doing this.
Oh, hi. Just a quick story. During my travels last year, we were in a kind of a happy little bar jam session in Paris. And this accordionist played this great song, and he was introduced as having written this song for the movie Midnight in Paris. So later, I couldn't remember his name. I got part of it. So I asked AI, I said, so what was the song written by this guy whose first name is so-and-so that was in the movie Midnight in Paris? So chat said, no, we have no record of that guy or that song in the movie. Well, I said, no, I think you're wrong. It definitely was. Oh, and it said, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. That was actually in the trailer, and the name of the song was such and such.
See, I don't think we're ready to put all our eggs in the AI basket yet. It's still trailing behind. Even some of my high school students are outsmarting it.
But it agreed. It found it.
Yeah, if you push it a little bit, right? If you take the first response as gospel, then there could be trouble. But yeah, I like to push back a little bit. Mary, I see that hand.
Yeah, well, I'll just say I am now terrified after listening to you, but
You should be.
part of it too is your point about the phones and kids having when many of us were younger, we didn't have phones to rely on, so we had to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And the other concern I have is that people rely so heavily on that they don't have the
Critical thinking and problem
critical
solving
thinking.
skills.
They
Yeah.
actually teach critical thinking in high school now that, we sort of had to fumble through a lot of that. So it's just a point, and I think it really makes these more concerning because people will just rely more and more as those of us who pass on, let's just say, or move on.
Well,
And-
ask yourself the question. Compare a visit to a restaurant or a Best Buy. Compare today's visit to a restaurant or Best Buy to a visit to a restaurant or Best Buy 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And ask yourself to compare the level of competence of the people in these places, right? I mean, I can remember 20 years ago working with, or I'll go back 30 years ago, working in a grocery store with people who were competing to be promoted by giving high performance and extreme competence and taking pride in serving customers and keeping a store clean. It just, to me, those are critical thinking and problem solving skills that you do throughout your shift, trying to figure out how to get ahead of customer needs and all that stuff. Today, I don't see a single bit of that. And when I do, I go out of my way to compliment the person, aggressively compliment, I can't believe how good you are. And I go out of my way to go back to that person every chance I get to reward that behavior. But I have trouble finding competence anymore. I have trouble finding even if you're just ordering a combo meal from a fast food place, you run into snags that didn't have to exist if there was a little bit more critical thinking and problem solving. And then after you furiously walk out of the store, they pick their phone back up and keep scrolling. Yeah. This can't be good. This can't be leading to something good. June, I see that hand. I'd like to jump in.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this class. I used ChatGPT this morning to ask for a 3-day menu, vegetarian that was high protein and high in calcium. And I got it, but I don't know how to print it. Did you print what you did today, or you're too young to want to print?
No, I work for HP, right? The printing company. You'll see I've got my HP printer right back there, and I certainly print often. especially little plug here, especially using Instant Ink, the ink subscription plan, or a Smart Tank printer.
Okay.
Let me get to your question here, but we all probably have flashbacks of ink costing a ton of money. But if you look now, there's Instant Ink plans that cost almost nothing. I'd really like to see people printing again because it's a great, but you can either print the web page by going to File Print in your browser, and it'll print the web page, or we had this discussion a little earlier too. You might have hopped on a little late. The other thing is select all the text and copy it into a Pages document or a Word document. That way you have control over formatting the size, and you can put line breaks where you want them and stuff. So two methods to do that: print directly from the browser, whether you're using Safari or Chrome. There'll be a print command under the File menu, or you can copy and paste the text into another application.
Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Or you can just take a screenshot.
Yeah, screenshots work too. A very close friend of mine surprised me. The new iPhone, as you probably know, has an action button, right? That little action button right there. It used to be a ring or switch, but now it's an action button, and that action button can be programmed to whatever you want. A friend of mine the other day pushed the action button, and ChatGPT popped up. And I said, "Oh, what do you got?" He said, "Well, I assigned AI to my action button because I use it so often wherever I am." And I said, "What do you mean? Why do you need it so often? What's going on?" And it was pretty clever, the things he's doing. Like, he'll arrive at a destination and open ChatGPT and say, "I've just arrived at Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco. What are the top 10 things people are doing here right now? What's trending?" And then it says, "These top things are what people like here." I don't know, but really just using it to navigate and stuff, and use it as a suggestion prompt, like, okay, there's 10 things it says are going on. I like 2 of them. Let's explore those. So it gave me a new type of, outlook on ChatGPT as a wayfinder too. When you go places, you can ask it what train routes are running and stuff. It's really interesting, this person who assigned that to their action button, but I thought it was a brilliant idea, and I like the way they use AI as sort of a way to, navigate around places that you want more information about, or you want to find the secrets. I moved to Georgia 2.5 years ago now, and every day somebody tells me about a place I never heard of, the best pizza in town, or the best burritos, or best place to get clothing. It's like, Google didn't tell me that, Yelp didn't tell me that. So AI is a good companion to have, to say, instead of doing a Google search, what's around here that people like in the way of apparel? And it'll say the following stores are nearby. It's just interesting the way you can use it. Here's some uses of ChatGPT. So Randy, I see that hand. Would you like to?
Sure. Back to the printing question, just a few topics before. I find either what you or Ken had highlighted in a previous session was the best thing to format for printing from any website is to open in preview and then go down to print PDF or something like that. That way it formats so much better, I find.
Yeah, Randy, you bring up a good point. Like, website printing is still clunky, right? It tries to put the graphics and sometimes you even see code and search boxes when you print something from a website. Sometimes there's a button to turn those things off, but yeah, to export to PDF or to open in Reader, right? Your Safari has a Reader view, and then once you open in Reader, you can even save that as a PDF. There's lots of nice tricks to get a well-formatted document out of it. Yep, thank you for that, Randy. Hi, Tiffany. I see that hand.
Back to travel suggestions. I asked Chat, give me some suggestions for scenic and cultural places the friends and I can visit within 2 hours of Liverpool, England, and we only want to travel by public transportation.
Amazing.
And so it gave a nice little suggestion. Here are some top things to go. And then I said, okay, can you put that in French, translate that into French? Sure, bingo.
Amazing. First of all, bravo to you for making it work for you. That's amazing that you got that level of confidence with that, and that you're utilizing it and you're getting those great results. But you gave a great example of, if you were to try to Google that stuff, you probably need a pen and paper and be there for 40 minutes getting all your stuff in order. But ChatGPT gives it to you. And I love the fact that any response it gives you, you can ask it to modify that response. You can say, take out this stop. I don't want to go there. there and redo it, and it'll instantly give you the text again. It's breathtaking when it's used for good, but scary nevertheless. Hi, Bob.
On that printing of web pages, I'll add one more thing. Two or three, well, several of the higher end screenshot applications will do what's called a rolling copy, where so if the web page you're looking at extends way beyond the 8.5 by 11, let's say it's 3 or 4 pages long, it'll copy the whole thing as is, and it won't be tiny. If you use preview to do something like that, you'll come out with this long, tall, narrow thing that you can't read. That these higher end screenshot programs will copy in normal size, and you'll be able to use Apple's technology to pick out the words.
Yeah, I want to show you, Bob, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to share my phone screen. Hopefully you all see my phone screen right now. Yes.
Yes.
And I happen to be in Safari. I'm just on a website here, right? I'm just scrolling through this website. It's many, many pages long. I was doing some personal shopping, so that's why you're seeing this. It isn't a recommendation or anything, but they told me there was a sale, so I was looking in to see.
If it's colored lights, we know it's you.
Yes, yes. Any LED strips or colored lights, yes, I'm into it. But I'm going to take a screenshot of this just with the iPhone screenshot utility. That's using volume up and the sleep button at the same time. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, and then I'm going to tap on the screenshot to bring it up. Now, you see that I've got this screenshot here that gives me my current view of the website. So it basically is limiting this website to just what can fit in this rectangle. But the built-in screenshot utility for iOS also has this full page option here that you can click. And now, I don't know if you can, you can see on the right here, it's got the whole web page here. Everything is being screened.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, Pete.
Yep, whole page. And now I can say share, and I can share this as a PDF file and send it to whoever I want. So ChatGPT as a screenshot here is a good idea. And then what I'll do is hit done and save to photos. Now I'm going to go, then once it's in your photos, even if you took a screenshot of the ChatGPT page, once it's in your photos, in photos now you can copy text from a static photo image. So that's really useful too. If you want to take a screenshot of your whole ChatGPT page, it'll show you everything there, and you can either export it as a PDF or copy and paste text right from your Photos app. So tons of ways to go about it. There were a lot of good questions today about how to print and how to get text out of there. Do what is most familiar to you, but that's another great one is if you're on your phone, you have your ChatGPT chat pulled up, you take a screenshot of it and choose that full page option, save it to your photos or export it as a PDF. Tons of ways to do it, but do whatever's most familiar to you. Okay, let's see. Let me do a time check here. We started at 12 and it's 1:20. Yeah, so hey, we're halfway through. I think the break rule is take a break when you feel like it. We won't really stop. I'll just keep powering through. But yeah, I don't think we do a formal break, or do we? I'm happy to if that's what the majority would like. But I'll just sort of move forward here. So text-based AI is definitely fun, and it is flawed. It is useful as prompts or starting points, but I wouldn't take as gospel anything that it said, right? Tiffany, I like what you said about give me ideas, or I think who was it, Lena, that made a menu. That's incredible uses of ChatGPT where you're not relying on it for something mission critical, but it's going to give you back, great suggestions. Lena, you probably took that 3-day menu of vegetarian dishes and omitted some of them, but picked lots of them. It's like, that's a great way to embellish your ideas with ChatGPT. I don't think we're there for mission critical things yet. So I think AI is a bit a bit of a ways off. However, if a cranky millionaire decides it wants to weaponize a Boston Dynamics robot and terminate anybody under 4 feet tall, then I don't know. I don't know how we're going to cope with that. I guess we'll finally find a good use for that Second Amendment, maybe. Okay, so let's look a little bit about into other types of AI that deal with things like visual images and even audio. Let's take a look at how we can dig into visual AI. I have leaned in heavily to visual AI. I'd like to take you through my history of what I've created with AI. Because when you use Midjourney is just one of several different AI image generators out there. Midjourney is a brand, okay? Just like Google is a brand, just like Yahoo is a brand, ChatGPT is a brand, and Midjourney is a brand. And the Midjourney brand has brought AI image generation to us. I will say that AI image generation is not simple. Like, what I mean is, I wish it was more straightforward. The space right now is crowded with people who want your advertising dollars. So for anybody who's trying to get a reliable image-based AI generator, it's the Wild West out there. There's tons of independent developers creating things that are riddled with ads and don't work well. And there's also developers out there creating amazing things. Midjourney is sort of a national brand, let's say. Like, it's somebody that is in the forefront. They've been pioneers of image generation, and Midjourney is the one I choose to generate images. There are some that claim to be better. There are others that I know are not better, but it's all just based on an engine that creates images out of nothing. This is fun and interesting, but I've got to tell you, in my personal and professional life, this Midjourney image generation utility has really enhanced a lot of things for me. It's really helped. I'm going to show you a practical use of ChatGPT of Midjourney that in my professional life I had to recently use and was absolutely delighted with the outcome. And then I'll show you things that are terrible about it and that are broken and don't work. But I am part of my job is an event planner. I'm planning an event that to take place in Puerto Rico this month. And so I am creating all of the assets for the event in Puerto Rico. And the event is an award trip. The people in my organization have done well, and to reward them, they're being flown to Puerto Rico with their spouses and treated to a week at a resort. And part of my job was to create banners, 10-foot wide banners and 8-foot tall banners to welcome the people to the resort. And so I Googled Puerto Rican sunset. I'm going to do that here with you. I'm going to share my screen. And I Googled Puerto Rican sunset because I really felt that would probably be a great backdrop for the banners, right? So I came to Google and I said, Puerto Rican sunset. And I went to images and I do my little hack here, if you will. I always go to tools. And under when you reveal tools, it gives you a size drop down, and I always go large because I don't want any tiny thumbnails or anything like that. So here I am, Puerto Rican sunset. And what I'm looking for is an image that's breathtaking, but high enough resolution to be able to put on a 10-foot wide banner. Now, I don't see anything here that jumps out at me as really stunning and breathtaking. Like, let me just click the first one I see. This to me is an okay photo. There's nothing really wrong with, well, there are a few things wrong with it, but it would be okay. It isn't what I was looking for my banner. This isn't bad. That's pretty cool, but it isn't the color feel that I wanted. This isn't bad, but it just isn't what I was looking for. And I could not find the right backdrop for what I wanted for my banner. Enter Midjourney, where I asked Midjourney, can you please create a gorgeous backdrop of a Puerto Rican sunset? And let me show you what ChatGPT gave me. I'm sorry, Midjourney gave me. Scroll back. I've had a lot of queries of Puerto Rican type culture and this sort of thing to create assets. But I look at this. Absolutely astonishing. A gorgeous Puerto Rican sunset, framed perfectly. Beautiful lighting, high dynamic range lighting with really bright brights. That sun is almost hurting my eyes. To really dark shadows with detail in them. And exactly what I wanted. And it was astonishing the choices I got, right? I said, give me a beautiful sunset off the Puerto Rican coast. And it gave me choices. It said, do you like any of these? I was then able to say, yes, I would like a variance of what this V means here. I'll get more into the mechanics of Midjourney in a moment, but I said, vary number 1 and vary number 2. And then when I asked for that, it gave me variances of those where I could upscale them. Just extraordinary. I was able to upscale. I did a photorealistic, beautiful sunset off the Puerto Rican coast. And then I asked it for bokeh, right? Bokeh is that photographic phenomenon where the background blurs and creates these sort of globs of light. I got exactly what I wanted. I have beautiful shots of the sunset with the foreground in focus and bokeh. Just amazing things that are generated. These photos don't exist, folks. These photos do not exist. They're one of a kind, generated by a machine that was asked for something. So to me, even practical uses for my everyday job, I'm able to now create these things. I asked for a circle with lovely tropical foliage growing from it, forming a wreath that is photorealistic and stunning. And I got just that. These wreaths here with tropical floral arrangements and things that are indigenous to Puerto Rico, stuff I probably couldn't have Googled and found. No, I won't say probably. I never could have Googled and found things to this level of detail and specifications that I've asked for, I asked for colorful foliage and indigenous plants, and I got these amazing images. You can, and we're going to get into some real-time stuff too. I'm going to do some prompts here, and here is a pattern inspired by Puerto Rican culture. Lovely, stunning, colorful backdrop. I got 4 choices: 1, 2, 3, and 4. I said a wall of liquor in a Puerto Rican bar, photorealistic, colorful, and stunning. I'm making drink tickets, so I thought, I need a backdrop for the drink tickets. Look at that. Stunning, and something you'd never find in Google. Now, if you look closely, these aren't real brands. They're all just blurry text and stuff. So also you're safe from, copyrights and that sort of thing because they're not real brands. A lovely photograph of a cocktail spread in Puerto Rico with various types of tropical drinks, photorealistic bokeh 8K. And here's what I got for a backdrop for a drink ticket. I could have Googled that same thing. In fact, let's do it. A lovely photograph of a cocktail spread in Puerto Rico types. Okay. I'm going to copy that prompt. We're going to go over to Google and we're going to put that in Google search engine and see what we get. 3 results, and none of them were anywhere close to what I asked for. But Midjourney gave me 4 options, all of them lovely. There wasn't a single one that wasn't correct. All of them were lovely. Then I said, do it again. Let me see it again. Did it again. Again, lovely backdrop, drinks. So all of this takes seconds. I said a set of colorful icons that represent Puerto Rico celebration, Boricua, Caribbean, vibrant, colorful. I use these icons on things like the agenda and stuff. Let me just show you a real live thing that's been sent for print. Let me see. I use Vistaprint to print up many of these things. So let me see, did I? Yeah, this was a poster I made, and this is going to go outside the meeting room to inform guests of where the meeting is. Look at that lovely Puerto Rican sunset photo that I used from Midjourney. I put my own logo over it using this application here. This is the Achievers Club logo. And then did some text here to create an overlay and have this stunning 20 by 30 poster that'll sit outside of the meeting room, all created artificially by ChatGPT. Just incredible, an almost essential tool for a production designer in today's world. You almost have to have Midjourney installed to get prompts and ideas. I want to take you back through a little bit more history, but then we're going to do our own prompts. I'm going to, and while I'm doing this, please, if you feel like it, drop some prompts in the chat, because I'm going to take them from the chat and plug them into Midjourney. So put some prompts in there of what you'd like to see visually. A shark jumping in the air and biting a helicopter, anything, put it in the chat. And when I'm done going through the history here, I'll pull up some of your prompts and see what Midjourney gives us. But I want to scroll up a little bit more because I don't just do work things. This was an inside joke that I was at a meeting explaining. I was vegan for 2 years. I used no animal products and really faithfully stuck to it for 2 full years. And I had planned one of these meetings a few years ago, and I told the staff at dinner time while everybody was being served fish tacos at a beach party, right? Because this was a big celebration meeting. I said, hey, I don't eat meat or animal products. Would it be okay to get just something without those things? The punchline and the funny part was everybody else is eating fish tacos, squeezing lime, we're facing the ocean. They brought me a huge plate of spaghetti and red sauce. Okay, it was fine. I love spaghetti and red sauce. I just thought on a beach facing the ocean, maybe there would be like a veggie taco or something cool, but a huge plate of pasta was what they decided they were going to serve me on the beach. Grateful, but it just seemed incongruent. It didn't fit. So I was with a group of people a couple nights ago in Puerto Rico. We were joking about that. Everybody got a huge laugh out of it. Later, when I got to my hotel room, I asked Midjourney to create me a plate of spaghetti on the beach. And I texted it to the group and said, I'll just be here enjoying my spaghetti. It got a huge laugh, but it was just one of those things where just off the cuff decided to create this image and send it out, and people got a chuckle out of it. It's that kind of creativity that is now on demand at our fingertips that we can access and have some fun with. I'm also working on collaboration with Intel for another sort of event that's going to take place. So asked it for some futuristic images that I could use as inspiration, right? I didn't exactly use any of these, but I was able to take the inspiration and modify it a little bit to make that type of stuff. My son is really into presidents and politics, and he loves Ronald Reagan and others. So I asked ChatGPT for a simple coloring book page of a line drawing featuring a pleasant headshot of Ronald Reagan as his presidency. I got exactly what I wanted. This was a great image. What I did was use my laser cutter to laser cut that image onto an acrylic and put it in a little light up base. And so now in my son's room is an image of Ronald Reagan and an LED light up. He loves that kind of stuff. Made him a few different presidents, John F. Kennedy and others. Let's see. Here's some more futuristic stuff I was doing. We have 2 dogs. One's a Chihuahua and one's a Chug, a Chihuahua Pug mix. And so I asked Midjourney to give me a coloring book page of a Chihuahua Pug mix. I was able to use this with my laser engraver to engrave that onto a cutting board for my wife. It's just there's no limit to the creativity that you can ask Midjourney for. We also have a Chihuahua named Apollo, and it created a really cute image of him that I now could use. Like I created this, I used on a t-shirt with a vinyl cutter and applied the vinyl to a t-shirt. Stuff I would have never been able to do without Midjourney's help here. Let me scroll up a little bit more and oh, here's one where I wanted a desktop wallpaper. And I really like lake and cottage life. So this is my current desktop background on my computer. I didn't want to use something that somebody else had made or that was already out there. I really wanted a nice lake house on the shore. I like to fish and stuff. So this is a lovely image for me to gaze at while I'm working. It makes a great desktop background, but I could pick anything I wanted. It gave me lots of breathtaking options, you know, to use as wallpaper on my phone or my iPad or anything else. I needed some other images. I was giving a presentation and I was telling a story from my past. And the story from my past was in the grocery business, there was a very angry customer when I managed a grocery store. And that angry customer changed my trajectory, changed everything. That day was pivotal for me. Well, I wanted a picture of that angry customer, but of course it's only in my imagination. What I did was came to Midjourney and I said, can you give me a picture of an angry customer? And it gave me a very close, here, I'll find it here. It gave me a very close version of what had happened that day. I keep in good touch with the man who this happened to because he changed everything that day. Here he is. I sent him this picture and I said, hey, I'm going to use this in a presentation. Is that a good fill-in actor for you? And he goes, I love it. I think it's great. He goes, it looks like how I felt that day. But anyway, this interaction between him and I changed everything and got me to where I am today in my career, from grocery to technology, the weird path. But this was in my PowerPoint. As I was telling the story, I gave the visual behind me. So I'm going to pause there, stop sharing, and we'll come back to it in a second. But I do see some hands and stuff. Oh, okay, Bob, go ahead.
Just a quick question. You may have covered this while I was away, but is Midjourney doing the heavy lifting on your local machine, or is it doing it on their servers?
Oh yeah, okay, good question. So when I enter a prompt and hit enter, all the heavy lifting is happening on their server and then delivered back to my machine.
Okay, so you don't need a minimum requirement as far as what your own computer is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, good call out there, Bob. Bob's sort of illustrating the
Just
difference.
checking.
Yeah, Bob's illustrating the difference between local compute, right? The heavy lifting your CPU has to do that's on your desk, and remote compute. They have big servers with big processors that do some of the work there and then deliver it to you. Yeah, I will say this about Midjourney, and I see some prompts in the chat that I'm excited to plug in. I think, wait a minute, what is this? Imagine middle-aged Apple computer nerd in front of his wall of technology. Al, I don't think we need AI for that. I think you and I could probably fill that just fine. But yeah, I will say, let me say a few words about Midjourney here, though. Strangely, they've caused the consumer, or they've required the consumer to jump through some pretty big hoops to be a Midjourney user. One of them is you must have a Discord account. And Discord is some obscure program that's great for interpersonal communication, but it's never found a place in my workflow, Discord. So not being very familiar with it, I had to set up a Discord server because this is what Midjourney wants in order for you to operate it. And you can only operate Midjourney through the Discord server. For me, that was a little bit of a learning curve. It took me a minute to get everything set up. Now that it's all set up, it's easy, but it was difficult to set up. I don't know why they give that barrier to entry, why they don't make it easier to set up. Another thing about Midjourney, the one that I'm using right now, it's $30 a month. $30 a month, and I pay it. Work doesn't reimburse me. I pay it out of my personal pocket because I'm so fascinated with this right now that I really want to dig in and utilize it. But I can't imagine myself paying $30 a month forever. I'm probably going to stop that subscription after a while and maybe pursue a different one that doesn't charge $30 a month or something. Let me go back to Midjourney here and let's try some of these prompts that you put in. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. And plug in one of these prompts. So let me switch back over to our chat. Let me see, where's our chat? Here it is. I'll bring that up. And I'm going to start with the first one that somebody put in here, which is, middle-aged Apple computer nerd in front of his wall of technology. Let's try that. I'm curious. So I'm going to tell Discord that I want it to imagine, right? Midjourney uses the imagine prompt. I want you to imagine, and then I'm going to paste Al's prompt in there and hit enter. What you'll see will happen is it's sending that job to the server. It's saying, okay, Midjourney server, the customer has asked for this, and you can see here the percentage of completion. It's 22% right now, and it's growing rapidly. What it's doing is assembling these images. It's going out onto the web, finding anything that might be relevant, and putting those together. You can even see the images starting to take shape here. Slowly, it's gathering data based on my prompt and applying these changes and evolutions to the image over time to get it to my specification. So here we are at 75%. They're still not great. Images are not baked yet. They look awful right now. Even at 85%, these images do not look good. But here we are when it gets to 100%. Now we're locked in. Now, to me, this is interesting. This is a middle-aged Apple computer nerd in front of his wall of technology. That's accurate to me. The technology doesn't look so current. It looks like older technology, but I like it. That passes my test. Melissa, feel free to come off. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you change to her
Yes.
all of technology?
Indeed, yes. Let's do that. Imagine. Let me do imagine here. Get this prompt. I'm going to paste Al's prompt in there in front of her. And then I'm going to do it again in front of there. I'm going to put the word there. I'm curious. Here, I'm going to do imagine. I can do concurrent. I'm going to paste that in again. And we did his, we did her, and let's do there. Let's see what Midjourney's idea of there is. And
But
so
it was interesting that it assumed the nerd was a male to start with.
Sure. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, yep. Here we see the hers painting here. We're at 55%, and it's going through all these iterations. And then, oh, here, this one started. I put there. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh, I think it's because we said his. That's why there was no feminine representation there. Her will have it, but there is going to be interesting. Let's see who's done here. Oh, her is done. So here's what we got for her. That I'm not mad at that. That looks good to me. I'd accept that. We even have an Apple logo on the overalls there, and that's in front of a wall of technology. I think if we change it to current technology, that might be interesting. Here's there when we did there. I think Midjourney assumes nerds are male because we said there and we got 4 males. So we may be able to deduce that Midjourney is slanting more males being nerds. But let's, what did we say we'd try? Oh, current technology, didn't we? Is that what we said? So let's paste this back in. I'm going to change it to there again. Curious to see if this crapshoot results in anything different. And then I'm going to put wall of current.
Does it?
Technology.
Oh.
Middle-aged Apple computer nerd in front of their wall of current technology. Let's see how that does. I'm going to also grab, I saw there was another one in the, oh, Tiffany even put imagine there. Tiffany, you are you're far along there in your understanding of what's going on here. Okay, let me punch that in there for you, Tiffany. Middle-aged Apple computer nerd in front of their wall of current technology. That's painting in now. We're at 65%. It's looking like four males again, I believe. And Tiffany, yours is at 22 right now. Folks, I could do this all day. Sometimes I'm on my phone while the family's watching TV, and my wife's like, "What are you doing over there?" I'm like, "Just creating things that don't exist, creating sharks with robotic fins, and just it's amazing what you can create." Okay, what finished here? Tiffany, yours finished, and that was Memoirs of a Merchant Mariner with lovely sunset on the ocean and view of bow of container ship from bridge. Text is always weird in ChatGPT, or sorry, in AI imagery, and so are hands. Text and hands are not figured out yet. So you can see the text isn't formatted well, or maybe it is in some of them, but how do you feel, Tiffany? Are you satisfied with these images, or do you feel any are way off of your prompt?
Yeah, the upper right looks great.
Upper right looks great. So if you decide the upper right looks great, you can either upscale it and say, give me the full resolution version of that. Or you can say, I think this looks great, but can you show me more? And so by doing V2, because that's image number 2, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, by saying V2, you're saying vary number 2. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to go back and take this base concept and give us 4 more images that are more like this.
Yeah, I would say show less rust.
Okay, you can say that. And it's kind of like the optometrist. They change that big wheel and then they flip back and forth on the small wheel, and you're like, ooh, I like that, and I like this, and I like this, and you can eventually get to what you like. Let's see. Here we use they again. Oh, sorry, one more thing. We use they again, and we said current technology. This, I believe, is a fail. This is not current technology. I see a bunch of CRT screens, and CRT screens are used for nothing anymore. So we can't really seem to get it. Maybe if we said no CRT screens, because you can do negative prompts, that might work. Sorry, I interrupted you. Who was that? Who wanted to speak up?
Oh, that was me, Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
I was just curious, how would I get imagery that would represent me as a Apple computer nerd, which I guess I kind of am?
Oh yeah, well, modify the Imagine prompt to be I was making an AI image of me and it kept making skinny dudes. And I'm like, yo, I'm not a skinny dude. So I had to tell it to make an overweight person to make it more resemble me. But it does listen to that modifier and did give me some good results.
So I would have to prompt it ethnically, is what you're saying, correct?
I think so, because it's looking like the
Okay.
default. It's looking like the default doesn't have a ton of
Right,
diversity in it.
No, I was
Yeah.
just curious, and I'm not trying to,
No,
blah,
good. Well, it's a good observation. Yeah, not only did it assume that nerds were male, but it also assumed that apparently assumed that they were white. So yeah, it's interesting. This one's at 85% now. And what it's done is varied that number 2. So when that hits 100, let's open that up and take a look at and see if we like the variance. See, now it's messing up the text. You see how we have a lot of errors, especially in this one here. This M is no M that I want to use in my thing. So again, so I don't see a decent text one in the bunch, maybe this lower right. But it did iterate for us and got us either closer to or further from what we wanted. Let's see. Ooh, I like some of these.
And are the individual elements, can you isolate them and then just play with them yourself?
Not yet. It's a good question. I would really love it if SVG format was available, where you could download it and then separate things and isolate backgrounds. But you can tell it to do things on an isolated background. So for instance, let me scroll up back through my history. I was trying to create a Best Buy employee for use in my own creations. I wanted a generic Best Buy employee. And I had to do some exact specifications. It needed to be polo shirt, and it needed to be, a certain, let me see, keep scrolling here. I think, yeah, here it is, where I was creating people that I could use later. Like, here's a good example. I wanted a character that I could edit later and create different states of that character, because I wanted to use that character in PowerPoint to appear to be talking to somebody or consulting with somebody. And this character is original. It doesn't exist anywhere else but here. I gave it the description. I forget what I said. Let me see what my prompt was. I think I said I wanted it on an isolated background. So this is a great one that you could bring into your image editor app. You can say you delete the background and I just want to use this. I wish it was automatic though. I wish you could say, give me this on an isolated background or something, but it isn't. And you can see here, it's generating some extraordinary images based on character turnarounds. I've got both genders with very similar type of stylization. Here I was trying to make Chihuahua Apollo. I asked it to make a character of my dog and love the results.
And you own these?
Yeah, you own these are
Okay.
original images.
Okay.
Here's
Mhm.
one that I needed to and Thomas, this is interesting, just sort of a callback to your earlier question. I said, a coloring book page featuring a female wearing a polo shirt, happily conversing with a mom about a laptop in an electronics store. This, we got a little bit more diversity here. Wasn't asked for, but the prompt did give us, a little bit more
That's
diversity.
nice. I wonder why. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
there we are, much more. Yeah.
Yeah, an image of a female salesperson with no other modifiers. This is what I got back. So yeah, maybe it was the nerd modifier that really
Ah,
skewed
sucker.
it to,
Yeah.
yeah. But you can see here, if you're a visual person, these images are really helpful when you're doing things like creating a training video. But remember, I said earlier, hands are difficult for AI. AI cannot figure out hands. And this image is a perfect example of what artificial intelligence does with hands. There are 3 hands in this shot, and not a single one of them is an accurate representation of a human hand. This middle one might be close. It might be close, but there's still some weird number of fingers and flaps. Look at this hand. It has 2 thumbs and 3 fingers maybe. And this one over here is also an abomination of a hand. So sometimes I have to tell it no hands in the picture, please. Now, this is an interesting one. Let me show you this. I have a pic. My son really likes JFK. This is not my son, however, but what I did ask for was a photorealistic painting of John F. Kennedy posing for a picture with a teen boy with buzzed black hair, because my son has buzzed black hair. This is what I got. Now, that is a teen boy, that is not buzzed black hair. But I used a utility called Face Swap, and I was able to swap this child's image with my son's image. And that's fairly accurate, but it would not change the hair for me. So I never used that, but sometimes my kids say, can you create an image for me of something? And being able to call up those types of things has been really useful. Let me see, what were some other, as I scroll through my history, I'm going to get to the prompts there. Profile pictures, like for LinkedIn and stuff. I can't remember the last time I wore a nice suit and had my hair done, but Midjourney did it for me. They created a nice profile picture for me that I don't have to get in a suit and do my hair. It's all done for me. Here was another image where I was trying to create a version of me for a profile picture. My cousin asked for a profile picture and was able to make one for him. That's a very accurate representation of my cousin. So really using the utilities that allow you to mix faces or swap faces. My daughter wanted a profile image, so I searched. I said, a hip young girl with long light brown hair wearing AirPods. And I said the modifier painted portrait. Now look what I got. This looks nothing like my daughter, but that's nice. That's a nice painted portrait. I like the lighting. She's got the headphones on. Then what I did was applied my daughter's face over this one by using the face swap utility. Now that is my daughter's face, and it's on this nice painting. And this was a great profile picture. She said, this is excellent. I'm going to use this as my profile. So even creating really useful things. Here was another one I tried to create of myself. It wasn't close enough. And Thomas, this calls back to earlier, the discussion about having modify. I said a 50-year-old male YouTuber against a cool background broadcasting with his mic. The man is slightly overweight. I had to say that because If I didn't, it would not give me that. And you can see here another one where the man is slightly overweight. I would say this man is slightly overweight, but I wouldn't exactly call this man slightly overweight, right? So I don't know. There are still some things that need need work here, but for PowerPoint backgrounds, me putting in, hey, a customer shaking somebody's hand or whatever, really nice to be able to get these things. Now, remember, hands are scary. So everywhere you see hands, they do not work out like they're supposed to. Let me get back down to the bottom here and look at some of the prompts we've been looking at. I actually have a scroll wheel on my mouse that is perpetual. You spin it and it goes zzz, and it just keeps going. So it's really convenient not to have to spin over and over again. Oh, wait, let me stop here for a moment to show my wife wanted a nice background for a social media post of a snowy cottage type thing. So it easy again to be able to pull that up. I think there was a birthday party invitation we needed something for, and again, original images to my specifications. Really nice to be able to pull these things up. Let me see symbols and past these things. Mount Rushmore with my son's face on it. lots of fun experiments. But let's get back down to the prompts that we chose here. And this was a picture of a Swedish brick mason in Iowa, USA around the 1900s.
Okay.
That was from Bev. Bev, are you satisfied with that? Except for the hands. Look, this has a Mickey Mouse hand here. He's only got 3 fingers. A brick mason in that era maybe only has 3 fingers. Maybe
number 3 is kind of fun.
This man's hand is smashed right into the brick. I guess he's one with the brick. But yeah, number 3, look, he's got okay hands. I mean, I don't want to look too closely. I see something on there, but
neat.
Another, let's see. Randy says missing in his wall of technology was the plastic. Oh yes, the pocket holder. I agree with that. Let's see. Elder aged Apple computer nerd in front of his wall of new and old technology in a Pixar style. I love that. I love the style modifier because it really does understand the assignments when you use a modifier as specific as what Al has done here. He said Pixar style. There is no confusing what Pixar style looks like. And I think we'll be happy with the results because it understands stylization really well. Left and right headphones don't match. True. Yeah, one of them was sort of bigger and kind of looked like it was off of its hinges or something. But now the face swap utility, I use something called, oh gosh, let me pull it up here. It is called Insight Face Swap. Insight Face Swap. And it's a modifier for Discord because this application we are in is called Discord. And Midjourney is being used as the engine for Discord. So what I did was I installed the face swap utility for Discord called Insight Face Swap. And what that allows you to do is do a command where, for instance, if we wanted to replace this man's face with one of our own, face swap allows you to do that. So step 1 would be to generate an image that you want, and then step 2 would be to swap your face with the other to try to come up with a personalized image. Okay, Pixar style. Well, I feel like it understood the assignment in number 4. This man is reaching into himself, which terrifies me. I guess it does not understand the assignment there. This upper left does not feel like a Pixar, and here we have a photorealistic image. So what I would do here is I would probably say V4. Let's go to V4. That's going to be very number 4. That we like this style, but we want to see more of it, and we don't care for these 3. I want to show you one more thing too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upscale number 2. I'm going to click U2. And what that's saying is, give me this image, but larger, right? And so here is that image, but a larger version. Take a look at this neat utility. I can say in these prompts below, I can say vary region. So if I click on vary region, a utility pops up that allows me to draw where I would like the image to change.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that this man is reaching into his own body. So what I'm going to do is tell it that this area is not acceptable for me. And then I'm going to click go. What it's going to do is go back and fix that area. Now, I don't know what we're going to get. It could be even worse than it is now, but that's what it's doing here. It's fixing that area with a varied region. So let's let that bake while we look at this one, which is at 75%. This one here was the variance on number 4. Remember, we said we like number 4, so it's giving us the variance. It's at 75% right now, 85, and that's going to take this stylized look and give us some options. So here it's just finishing up. Let's see. And now let's see what's happened here. While we wait for that one to finish baking, let's open the one where we did vary region, where we told it we did not want him reaching into himself. Oh my gosh, folks, it got worse. Look, he has a hand here, he has a hand here, he has a hand here. This one's another hand, another hand here. And then in this one might be okay. I don't see multiple hands. So maybe the lower right was okay, but you see what vary region did for me. It made it go back and change that
Couple
area.
of hands up there.
Three of them, he's got 3 hands.
Yeah.
Yep. This one may be the only viable one. So what I would do in this case is I would say, fine, vary number 4 for me. So I'm going to click V4 and it's going to take that 4th image and it's going to go find me some new ones. Now here's the one we varied earlier of the Pixar one. And I think it's done an okay job. I like these. I would probably find one of these usable, but if I didn't, I can keep hitting these V buttons. I can say vary number 1. Shoot, I sometimes click all 4. I say, just give me variances of all of them. Let me see what else you got. If you pay your $30 a month, all of this is, that doesn't make any sense. If you pay $30 a month, all
This sounds
free.
free.
It's like, no. If you pay $30 a month, all of this is accessible to you with no limit. So you can sit there and iterate. And it's on your phone too. Discord is on your phone. So there are times when I'm just sitting there creating images of your wildest dreams. A shark with a rocket engine flying up to bite a Falcon X rocket in flight. You know, it's like, go ahead,
People
try
have
it. You'll
hands
get
up.
cool
Yeah.
things. Yep. Okay. Let me see. Oh, June, I saw that hand.
Hi, I'm just curious, do you have time to walk us through setting up Discord server, or should we do that another time?
Yeah, it really carries a lot of complexity. And let me just talk through the steps. Don't try to follow. But Al, if you can find a walkthrough maybe on YouTube and put it in the chat, I think that's going to be everybody's best bet, because you will need to rewind and watch parts over again. But the way it works is you download Discord and you create an account. That's step 1. Discord is an app that's available on every device, PC, Mac, iOS, Android. It's everywhere. So you download Discord and create an account. The account is free. So just like anything else, download it, make an account, and log in. Once you're logged in, you will have to create your own Discord server. And there's 3 or 4 steps to doing that. It's very easy, but it is steps that you have to follow. And then after that, you have to connect Midjourney with your own personal Discord server. And once you've done that and signed up for a Midjourney account and gave them your credit card to start charging you, then and only then can you start generating these images. I don't know why they're making it so difficult, but a YouTube video walkthrough that you can watch and repeat the steps if you have to is really going to be your best bet, because it is overly complex and I don't really know why.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Mary, I see that hand.
Yeah, can you start with a photo that you already have on these programs?
Yes, you can prompt it to start with a photo and to do whatever you want, take this photo and make other images from it. Because let me show you this. If I go to the / in my command prompt here, Discord has its own command prompt. And when I go there, you can see that there are lots of commands here of various things you can do. Like what I've done is uploaded pictures of my family, so I can use those. You can do many different things here. So one of them is to upload a photo and then you can apply that photo. I won't walk through the process because again, it's one of those complexities that you have to kind of build to once you have this set up. But yes, you can upload an image and say that you want it in that style, in that painting style. I recommend after this, we have another hour here, but after this, everybody could probably do well if you are interested in Midjourney to just Google Midjourney prompts. Midjourney's own website has a guide on how to create prompts that get you what you want. Because as I said at the top of this meeting, prompts are going to be the future of AI for all of us who are interested in using it. Understanding how to tell AI what you want and getting what you want is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. The people with no critical thinking and problem solving are going to have a hard time with AI. You've got to word it in such a way, and the chain of your prompt matters. What is the old thing? It's time to eat, Grandpa. But if you throw a comma in there, it's time to eat, Grandpa, right? The comma turned it from it's time to eat, Grandpa, to it's time to eat, Grandpa, right? The two different phrases being, are we going to actually consume Grandpa, or is he coming to the table to eat? Without the comma, you're consuming Grandpa. But if you throw the comma in there, Midjourney, that matters in Midjourney. Your prompt is susceptible to grammatical paths and predicates and subjects. Oh, perfect, Al. Thank you for posting that. A step-by-step tutorial on how to use Midjourney with Discord. And if you can find Midjourney's own prompt guide on their website, that's another.
It's posted already in the chat further back.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. That's amazing, Al. You're incredible. Walk through how to create prompts, because it'll tell you like, say this first and then say that, because even AI gets confused about the flow of your sentence and things like that. So prompts are going to be the future, and prompts are how you create these, things. There are companies now getting paid a lot of money to create prompts for AI for big companies and stuff. That wasn't even a business a year ago. Nobody had ever heard of such a thing. And now here we are, there's multi-million-dollar businesses of prompt creators for AI. Astonishing things. Okay, let's see. What did we say we were going to get to? We've already got those images that we tried. Here's another variance. I think it's getting better and better. I believe these are usable. They're fun. If you did a face swap on this, you could put your face here. So you could have a fun little avatar or profile image for something. Lots of uses here for the images, obviously.
This is how Discord works. And
I see somebody's tuning into a YouTube video already. I love it. Yeah, get in there and get your Discord connected.
That was me. I'm sorry, Pete.
No, I love it. That's imagery. I want to close imagery and move to audio. But before I close that, I just wanted to say there are many competitors. There are apps you can download for $1 or $5 where you can put in the thing. All of them are looking for your money. So free AI today is hard to find something reliable. If you really are interested, if what you saw today really moved you and you want to get into AI image generation, I think it's worth the work of going through the Discord steps. I'm only an email away. So if you truly get stumped, email me. And for those of you who have, that I don't miss those emails. I reply, and I often reply in depth. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to get to my in-depth reply. But if you do get stuck and need help, I am a good source of help, even if I just send you a link to something that has helped me. So I'm happy to, but I'll repeat that if you are interested in what you saw here today, go through the steps of getting yourself connected to Midjourney via Discord, and you will not be sorry. It just unlocks a lot of doors. You got to pay $30 a month, but maybe just do it once. You have a whole month to play with it, and then cancel your subscription. You don't have to do it again.
Couple hands up.
Yes, Randy.
Oh, forgive me.
Yeah, Pete, is there anything, Midjourney seems very good, very interesting, very promising, but for me personally, just very advanced, over my head, nothing I would ever use. Is there anything more baby steps on AI that I could use on more the free mode and not jump into this first? Maybe something more elementary.
Yeah, great great desire there not to get tangled in the web of Midjourney and Discord, and the cost is $30 a month. Yeah, the answer is yes. However, it's the Wild West, right? It's a bunch of apps. In fact, I did a little bit of digging, right?
We
To
know
create
that.
to create an app that accesses AI engines to create images is easy. So a lot of people are out there creating apps that access AI engines to bring you imagery. Well, the problem is these apps are looking for your dollar or your ongoing subscription, and then they're gone, right? Because right now is a gold rush. So I could create an app, put it on the App Store in a week, 40,000 people will download it, and I get 70% of that money. And then I don't care what happens to them. And so that's the problem right now, is it's the Wild West. Your journey, Randy, to find a reliable app is going to be an arduous one because of that. The field is littered with this. But Al, you may if you query what are the best iOS AI image generator apps, that might be useful and a useful place for you to start, Randy. Just beware, the path will be beset with fly-by-night grifters who just want your dollar and then they're gone, so it's going to be hard to find a great one. That's why the work of Midjourney and Discord kind of separates you from all that mess. And then but to your point, it's also arduous and expensive, and maybe if there's not a huge need for it, that one of those apps will suffice. Melissa, I see that hand.
Yes, Pete, you talked about how you created your PowerPoint that you started with,
Yes.
But you've now gone beyond ChatGPT. Which tool did you use and which prompt?
Sorry, you bring me back to a point I really wanted to emphasize and drive home. So thank you for that. I was going to move past that. Before I get to audio, let me show you that. Again, I took pride in proving, this time it was my wife. I just wanted her to see it, but I took pride in proving that with 8 minutes left on the clock, I could have a competent presentation to show. So I'll show you exactly what I told ChatGPT to result in what it did. So let me bring up ChatGPT again and get that pulled up. So I came in this morning and let me share my screen. Share. Okay. AI benefits for seniors, that's what it's called. But I said, I'm giving a talk on AI today to tech enthusiasts who are over 50. What are 8 tenets of AI as they are relevant to the aging population that will help them connect with the concept? And so ChatGPT did its best at giving me, those 8. Healthcare advancements, assistive technology, social connection, personalized services, safety and security, autonomous vehicles, elderly care, and lifelong learning. It also gave me a quick blurb for each one. So I thought that was cool. Those were good talking points. But then I said to it, can you format this as text I can paste into a PowerPoint slide? Certainly, with an exclamation point. Gladly do that. Look what it did. It broke it down into slides for me. All I had to do is copy and paste it over in PowerPoint like this. Hop over, paste, right? Paste that there. Oh, wrong clipboard here. Let me do copy, hop over and paste that here, and then move to the next slide. And then come over here, copy and paste. Then I realized I'd like a little bit of expansion on these bullets because I want to be able to fill in and embellish not just a bullet, but have some explanation for each. So I said, you listed video conferencing. One of them I didn't. I was like, wait a minute, that's a stretch. I asked it to explain itself, and it did a great job of it. Noise canceling, right? It justified its choice because I said, video conferencing, how does AI impact this? I know it does, but I never heard it really articulated this way, but that was good. And then I said, can you provide slide notes for each slide that I can paste in to support the slide contents? Of course, here's notes for each slide. What I did was copy those notes and I just pasted them over here in the slide notes like that. I did it with 8 minutes left on the clock and I had 3 minutes to spare when I was done. I I wouldn't have showed you this if, I mean, if you're sitting there going, well, that's lazy, he just threw it together. Yeah, there's that. But I didn't. This wasn't a lazy presentation, I promise. I didn't just do it for the sake of. In fact, I wouldn't have even used a PowerPoint today because I had my plan for the path through this lesson today. But it was really to prove to you and my wife at the time that with 8 minutes left to go, I can create a competent PowerPoint. Now, this isn't beautiful or polished or anything like that, but it is competent. It is right on the subject
Works.
matter. Yeah, it has
Mhm.
my notes here, which were on my second screen, and it has this. So it was ChatGPT and me basically telling it to format the things the way I wanted it to, and it did just that. Let me see who I got. Yeah, feel free to adjust wording. I can say that here because if you look on the left of my screen, those are all chats that I have created. Hope none of them are controversial. It's being recorded and broadcast. No. You know, I created that, but I can revisit those chats anytime, right? I can go, let's see, Xbox 3D Blu-ray support. I was asking a question and getting an answer. Top Apple TV features, right? This was, I don't know how long ago. Let me see, 2023, I made this question. I can come back now in 2024 and say more detail. Sure, it's going to take the context of what we've done. This is a 1.5 years old, but it picked up right where I left off and gave me tons more detail about the topic I'm asking about. My son and I created a video for YouTube. It was a cupcake battle, Little Debbie's versus Hostess. And I asked it for a script, and it gave me a script, a YouTube script. It even said exciting music playing, showcasing the cupcake, camera zooms in on the cupcakes, unboxing and display, taste test round 1. This all I asked it for was making a YouTube video. Can you make me a little script? Now, we used a lot of this. We didn't use it verbatim, but I put here, the judges will be blindfolded for the taste test. Okay, let me change everything now. Title, Blindfolded Cupcake Showdown. And then it told me what to do if the contestants were blindfolded. I didn't have to retype my whole prompt because it's in context of this chat. That's why they call it ChatGPT. We're in this one vertical, and anything I say, ChatGPT understands that it is all in the context of this vertical, which I think is really useful. HDMI cables. I really wanted to dig in about HDMI cables. Are they all the same? And I asked it a lot of questions. Does Dolby Atmos work with standard HDMI cables? Now, I haven't touched this conversation in a year, so I don't know how long it's been, but I'm just going to say expand on that. Sure. And it's going to dive deeper now and get even more into the topic. That's one of the reasons why I like the fact that ChatGPT saves all of the chats and gives them a label. AI generates a label and it puts it there, and you can come back anytime.
Pete, a question about current technology. I thought I saw somewhere that ChatGPT had just combed the web up to 2021. So if you're asking something super technical that's come out in the last year, where are we with that?
Yeah, so ChatGPT will tell you that my knowledge is 2 years old, like I don't have current knowledge. That isn't entirely true. It can tell you current things, but it will back out of some things by telling you it doesn't have current knowledge, or it will indicate to you that its knowledge may be outdated if the thing it is working on is truly kept from it. And I think as a way to curb AI's sprawl, they've given it a delay of 2 years or so, which is only somewhat accurate, but I think that is a governor. I think they use the 2-year thing as a governor for AI, that it can't become exponential and become all-knowing. They give it that governor. Some companies, though, don't have a governor on it. They're giving it all current information, and I don't know, that may be great or that may not be great. I wanted to show you this one last chat before we switch over to audio, and thank you, Melissa, for bringing me back here to look at how we did the PowerPoint. But this was one that I was trying to help another person with about the formula to find margin. And this was fairly straightforward, something I have known managing retail for many years. But the great thing was that after the explanation, I can say, how do I do that in Excel, right? Because we all would like to be masters of Excel, but it's difficult. ChatGPT will not only tell you the steps, but give you the formula to paste into Excel. You can click copy code and that will copy this. You can paste it into Excel and get the formula that you're looking for. This became extremely useful to me. These codes where I was copying them and pasting them into Excel, because it's writing formulas that are accurate that I can't with my own brain write. You can even say in plain English, write me a formula in Excel that does X, Y, and Z. It'll give you the exact formula. Shoot, let's even go more elementary than that. Let's just start a new chat and say, I'd like to make a spreadsheet in Apple's Numbers app that catalogs, I'm going to spell that right. Catalog, no, there's no U, I'm up from the UK. That catalogs my books.
Holy moly.
They just replaced me, folks. I no longer need to be teaching classes on numbers because here it is. I can say here, I want to add a borrowing component to indicate that a book is loaned. Well, look at that. Can you show me the formulas for this? Look at that. These formulas can all be pasted into numbers. I can grab this code and paste it in, and it's going to create a checkout loan system for you that'll ask what date is borrowed, what's the loan period, if the book is available. Now, if you gave me a half an hour, I could have this set up based on ChatGPT's walkthrough. In 30 minutes, I could have this up and running. Yours might be way more complex. You might be trying to use data or genealogy maps or whatever it is. ChatGPT is fearless. It fears nothing. It'll give you the code and how to do it. Incredible. Okay, thank you for that detour back to where I almost skipped. Now we'll just do quick few minutes on audio and then go back to an open roundtable Q&A type of thing. Audio is another one of those scary things, as is video. You'll notice I haven't talked about AI generated video here, mainly because it's really far off from being usable. There was a recent development where there was an exponential leap from really far off to, oh my gosh, this is close. Let me see if I can find that example. AI. Oh yeah, here's Marcus. This man's name is MKBHD, Marcus Brownlee. I don't know if anybody has ever checked out his content, but he's a very pro Apple content creator. Oh shoot, I don't think I said share audio. Oh no, I haven't shared yet. Let me share my screen with audio, and I'm going to fast forward to a couple of places in this video that here's the reason why I haven't really spoke much about video with AI, video creation with AI. Yeah, this was a video that was created in AI, and the prompt was Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Is where we were 1 year ago. So just keep that in the back of your head for all this. Okay, how about this one?
Okay, so the Will Smith eating spaghetti is a great example of how awful AI
And again,
is
this
with
is
subtle
where we were
details, right?
1 year ago. So just keep that in the back of your head for all this. Okay, how about this one?
Now that's AI. This is the improvement we've seen. This doesn't exist. This road doesn't exist. That vehicle doesn't exist. That dust behind the tires doesn't exist.
This is another one which has a long prompt about a camera following behind a white vintage SUV with a black roof rack as it speeds up a steep dirt road. This is also, again, really good. It kind of looks a little more video gamey because of how rock solid the drone footage is, but clearly very usable. Here's another one. A litter of golden retriever puppies playing in the snow. Their heads pop in and out of the snow, covered in it. It's so good. It feels like the physics of the fur and the ears and everything with the snow flying around.
These dogs don't exist. This is all made up. So looking at this stuff, kind of the comparisons of where we were and where we are now, you can see that there's just exponential leaps. What does this mean for content creation? If I can simply tell Midjourney or whoever the video vendor of your choice is to create a short scene of a car drive, I think filmmakers can probably produce entire videos just off of AI prompts and things like that. So everything, both visual imagery, videos, audio, it's all just getting better and better by the day. That takes us to switch over to audio here, where I'm going to show you something called 11 Labs. This is the one I subscribe to. I pay $5 a month for 11 Labs. And what 11 Labs allows you to do is create a voice. And that voice can be created on just a short recording. So if you hear somebody talking on Zoom, like if Bob White was talking on Zoom, I can use my phone's voice recorder app and record Bob White talking on Zoom. And then I can feed that recording into AI and type whatever I want and hit play. And in Bob White's voice, the text that I typed will come out. This is scary too, right? A loved one's voice over the phone telling you that they're in danger or they need something. I mean, be weary, because I'm sure evil will start to utilize these things for bad. They're already getting people to go buy gift cards and send $500 worth of gift cards to what they call the IRS. So we need you to immediately get us gift cards. I don't know if you're aware of that scam, but if anybody asks you for gift cards, the answer is no. But I gotta believe this will be used for evil eventually. So be wary if you hear somebody's voice on the other end of the phone. Maybe it's time to make a code word with your loved ones. Like in an emergency, I would really like you to say the following before in an emergency, in an urgent situation, I'd like you to remember the answer to the following question, something like that. I think that's the only way we're ever going to be 100% sure that the person on the other end of the phone is indeed who they say they are. In fact, a cousin that I haven't talked to in a long time, out of the blue, contacted me and through text, and I said, "Hey, let's talk for a minute." And I asked him a question only he would know the answer to, because I was concerned that the person on the other end was using AI generated voice. Was I crazy this time? Yes, it wasn't the case. It was my cousin, but I felt better safe than sorry in that moment that I verified that identity first. So let me pull up 11 Labs here and let's talk a bit about that. Here we go. Let's see. Here is 11 Labs. This is the website. I'm trying to, here we go. Here's the menu in the upper left there. But I'm going to go to Voices. I think I'm logged in. Yeah, I'm already logged in. I'm going to go to Voices here. And I've already created some voices. So here's one called Pete's Voice. Say use. And I'm gonna say some text. Now, let's do this the lazy way. I'm gonna go to Chat GPT, make a new chat, and I want to say make make a script for a let's see. Make a script for a salesperson cold calling a consumer to sell a Falcon 9 rocket. And I'm just going to take a longer paragraph here. I'm going to say Falcon 9, here we go. I'm just going to take this, copy that copy that text, get back over to here to 11 Labs and paste that text in. And I bet you I did not click share audio, as I never seem to do. Did not. So let me stop. Share audio this time. Zoom, get with it. Make it so I can click the share audio button after I'm sharing, please. Okay, so I just took text from ChatGPT. I'm going to click generate speech here in my 11 Labs account. It's going to spin here for a moment. And then the Falcon 9 is not just any rocket. It's a marvel of engineering, capable of delivering payloads to orbit, supporting missions to the International Space Station, and even launching satellites into space. That's scary, guys. My son, Isaiah, let's change it to his voice and generate that speech. He's got a very unique sort of inflection in his voice.
The Falcon 9 is not just any rocket. It's a marvel of engineering, capable of delivering payloads to orbit.
That's incredible. I know it's not his voice because I hear it every day, but absolutely extraordinary. You can do speech to speech too. You can record your own audio right on the website, say what you want, and then change it to somebody else's voice with just a click. This is 11labs.io. I'm sure Al's already got it in the chat, but all I did was signed up for an account, paid $5 a month, and here we are. I can create as many voices as I think as many voices as I want, but they're limited to 5,000 characters or something like that. Then there's a huge voice library that you can choose from if you just want to make like a TV ad or I'm sorry, a radio ad or something like that. You can sample.
I'm not interested in age. People who tell me their age are silly. You're as old as you feel.
Okay, I'm going to add that voice and hit finish. And then if I was doing a video production and I needed a voiceover, I think I could come in here and go here and click on that voice. Why did it come up with a blank screen? Okay, there it is. And then I'm gonna click generate speech on that new voice that I just chose. It is
The Falcon 9 is not just any rocket. It's a marvel of engineering, capable of delivering payloads to orbit, supporting missions to the International Space Station.
That sounded cooler than I could sound, so I would probably use that as a voiceover for a video that I was doing, but all generated out of the thin air. This text here was generated by AI and the voice is generated by AI. So nothing here is really real, but it's real. Amazing. I've used it a couple times to do just that, voiceovers. Like when I'm doing a training video, sometimes people get sick of hearing my voice, so I'll have ChatGPT write the script for me. I'll put it into 11 Labs. I'll take the recording and put that into iMovie and use the audio recording as the voiceover for the video. So just a quick point there in case you missed it. Yes, you can export out from 11 Labs and import into your iMovie project and use the voice that you just generated in your voiceover. So voiceovers are hard. You have to have a microphone that picks up your voice properly, and you have to not mess up when you're reading the script. And then you have to put 11 Labs makes it so it doesn't mess up. It's perfect production value, meaning don't have to edit the levels or microphone is bad. It's really remarkable. And many of the YouTube videos or voice overlays you hear today are AI. They just, they don't, why hire an actor and pay, whatever it takes when AI will get you 75% of the way there, I think. Okay, Roy, I see that hand.
Yeah, if I wanted to say record my voice and then put it on one of those videos, how long do I have to record my voice? You know, a minute, 10 seconds, you know.
Okay, let me see if I'm following you here. That you wanted to make a voiceover for a video. And do you want to use your voice or do you want to change it to an AI voice?
No, a real person's voice, whether it's me or, you know, my daughter or something like that.
Okay, so meaning that you would talk into the machine, but then it would spit out your daughter's voice instead of you. Is that what you're saying?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
How long do I need to record her voice?
Yeah, the duration is limited to something like 5,000 characters or 15 minutes, I believe. You get 5,000 text characters or 15 minutes. So if you had a long thing that you wanted to read to 11 Labs website and then click generate my daughter's voice and spit it back out in her voice, you would have a minimum of 1 second and a maximum of 15 minutes that you could use. And you can do multiple files. So even if you reach the maximum of 15 minutes, you could just stop that recording and start another one. And another thing, Roy, too, is remember Siri's really good at speech to text. So if you wanted to just get your thoughts out, you could open a note, hit record, hit transcribe, speech to text. And as you're talking, you see all the text fill in. You can make any edits you want and then copy that text and paste it into 11 Labs. And 11 Labs will recite everything you copy and pasted in there that was originally your stream of consciousness, your thoughts. You can have that edited up, paste it in there, and change the voice to somebody else's. It's remarkable how it's like a bicycle for production. It speeds everything up and makes it so you can get from beginning to end of a project way, way faster than ever before. Melissa, I see that hand.
Hi, yes, I was wondering if Roy was asking how long to make a recording.
Oh, I think I hear it
then
now.
becomes the
Yes.
source of the voice.
I think I hear that now. Yeah, I understand that better now. Thank you, Melissa, for the clarification. I didn't think about that. So I think the question here is, in order for 11 Labs to be able to analyze and capture my voice for use in AI recital, how long do I have to condition it to understand me? It's a good question, and let me answer it in a couple ways. One is you can go on the website, hit the record button, and just talk. And I don't think it needs much. I think it needs like a minimum of 5 words. Okay. However, there are things like inflection and accents and even speech impediments that may not make themselves clear in 5 words. Like I have a very what do you call it? A lisp, but it is very light. It is difficult to detect. Only people very close to me have ever really called it out. You may hear it. It's a very, very slight lisp. That may not be detected in only 5 words, so if you're really looking for accuracy, I would spend as much time as possible talking into the recording to make sure you hit R's and T's and A's and lisps and speech impediments and accents, because each thing you say, the AI is capturing the inflection and all the little details. So yeah, minimum of 2 seconds and maybe a maximum of as long as it'll let you go. One more note on that is you can actually use your phone's voice memo app. It's already on your phone. It's on everybody's phone. It's automatically on there. It's called Voice Memo. Very useful for recording things. Even Zoom calls. Sometimes I just put my phone next to Zoom and I click record on voice memos so I can go back later and listen to certain parts. It's an amazing app. It's really nice, built in, made by Apple, built into your device. All your devices, your iPad, your Mac has it. You can use that if you have a nice microphone on your Mac or you like the mic on your phone. You can just create a file in your voice memo. You can redo it if you mess up, and then when it's like you like it, upload that file to the 11 Labs website. It'll take it exactly in the right format that the voice memo app spits out. And it'll actually take that and use that as its analysis. So you don't have to talk right to the website. You can make a voice memo. You can create a paragraph of text that you feel correctly captures all of the nuances of your own speech, whether it be accent, impediment, inflection, the way you are. So I think the longer the better is probably good if you're into accuracy, but if you just want to try it out. Like that voice that I played for you, that is my emulated voice, it was a very short thing. I think I just said something like the lazy brown dog jumped over the fox, or whatever that thing is. It was very short. I was astonished at how good of a job it did in just the little bit that I gave it. It made me want to go back and do a whole paragraph and see how it changes based on that. But the longer the better. I guess Roy would be the answer to your question, and Melissa, thank you for that clarifying.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think this is a great time to just open up the floor to Q&A or requests. If you want to go back and see something else that I've showed or clarification, I'm happy to spend some time doing that. I'm looking kind of in the chat to see what Al's been posting and stuff. Yep, lots of good links here, and Al sends them out. I can't tell you the value of what Al does here. It's just extraordinary. The speed and agility at which he gets these things in here and then sending them out. Al, you're really the unsung hero here. Thank you. Amazing. Yeah, okay, what else? Let's see. I see a hand. Carolyn. Now, Carolyn, I don't hear you. You may be on mute. Or maybe it was just a mistake. The hand went down. So if you want to get
Pete, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more time, what's the process involved? And if you want to do a face swap in Discord, is there like a utility inside Discord that you have to or an extension or something, or is it just a standalone app that you use?
Yeah, let me let's see, face swap insights. Let me show you. Let me. Yeah, so this is a company. I kind of described them earlier. I think I sort of villainized developers. Sorry about that. I don't mean all developers, and I don't even know about this one. This could be another fly-by-night one. It could be a great developer. It all depends on ethics and stuff. Like as they grow, as these developers grow in their craft, AI is all new. Are they ethical? Do they serve the customer, after the customer pays their fee? These are all things that remain to be seen. Insight Face is a developer. They could be great. They could be bad. I don't know. So far, I'm liking what they do. But what they do is basically take, let me see what demos here. They basically take faces and swap them onto images that have been created. So Al, would you mind if I use your face?
Not at all.
Okay, I'm gonna spotlight you. Spotlight for everyone. And I'm gonna take a screenshot. Okay, grab this screenshot here of Al's face on Zoom. Thank you for that. Let's say remove spotlight now and head back, share my screen and head back to, I'm going to head back to Discord. So let me go back to Discord here. What I've done is I've gone to the Insight Face website and I downloaded their code on GitHub, right? Here's GitHub, and you have to download the code to Insight Face's face swap utility. This is why I don't like this world, because it is sprawling complexity. But this company, Insight Face, has offered a utility for Discord. It's in the form of code. They don't give you an installer for it. You have to put the code somewhere. It gives you directions on how to install it, but once you've installed the code of this developer's utility, then I'll go back to Discord and kind of show you how it functions. The first thing I'm going to do is upload your photo, Al. So I'm going to say, what I'll do is do the prompt here in Discord. You can see that I've done the / and started to type the word face, which brings up all the prompts that match face. And so what I'm going to do is look for the one that says upload a picture of somebody. Here it is, save ID. Save identity feature by name and image. So I'm going to click that and it's going to ask me then, okay, who is it? So ID name, I'm just going to put Al, A-L, and the image, it says, please attach a file. So let me click here. Go to my screen captures folder. Screen captures, here's today's screen captures, and there is Al. So I'm going to upload Al here by hitting send. So let me, that's complete. I'll hit upload. And what I have just done is I've given face swap Al's picture and told it that its name is Al. So then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say imagine. And then I'm going to put a rugged Viking warrior fresh from battle. And then I want to say, I want to tell it a lovely painting, against the sunset. I want to point out that my grammar and diction here is awful. I don't know how any machine can pick up a rugged Viking warrior fresh from battle, a lovely painting against a sunset. That's awful. That prompt is awful. But let's hit enter and see what it does. Now, what I've done is two things. I've uploaded a picture of Al and told my Discord server that that is Al. And then I've requested a photo of a Viking warrior fresh from battle. Sounds like something sensational or cool. You can see we're at 15%. That image is baking right now. We'll wait a moment until it's done baking. And then what I'm going to do is give it the command to apply Al's face over the face of this Viking that we're creating. Hopefully the outcome is this rugged, stunning painting of a Viking in the likeness of Al. Al, this may end up over my fireplace, so
I hope not.
okay, so we're at 55%.
Ugly mug.
It's still baking. One of the things that is a complexity here that I didn't think of is that you want the person's face looking straight on for best results. So this 3/4 view will not work. I need to go back and copy my prompt. I want to paste it back in. And I want to make some modifications here. Subject is looking straight on to the camera. That's also bad grammar, but let's see if. Now, if I were doing this, if this were a thing where I really wanted the right outcome, I would take this whole sentence and redo it. I might even copy this sentence and I might bring it over to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT. I'll say, please make this prompt more suitable for Midjourney. Now I'm going to type in the prompt and hit enter. This is one of the things that when I said earlier, ChatGPT does indeed have knowledge of things that are less than 2 years old, because it knows Midjourney, and that ain't 2 years old. So interesting. So now it gave me a prompt, which is way better than mine, I guess. Let's copy that and paste it in. Carolyn, I see that hand. Let me do two things. One, let's see what it returned for our straight on to the camera. I like it. I think these are good. I'll omit the ones with the helmets, and I think that upper left looks good. So I'm going to vary number 1. But then I'm also going to try the prompt after ChatGPT fixed it for me. So there's a big old prompt. That's a large prompt. But ChatGPT says it'll work. So here it is. Capture the essence of a rugged Viking warrior just returned from the heat of battle, set against the breathtaking backdrop of a sunset-lit landscape. The warrior, weathered and fierce, gazes directly into the camera, telling, wow, I never would have thought of all that, but nice job, ChatGPT. Let's see if the results are better than mine, which says a rugged Viking warrior, fresh from battle, a lovely painting against the sun. Mine was terrible, but hey, well, let's see what they both do right now. Here is, they're both baking. You can see the percentages here. Let's see, their prompt versus my prompt. They're looking pretty similar in the early going. I mean, they don't look that much different to me. But now I think we've got to a place where we have a picture we like. We've uploaded Al's picture in there, so we know we can do the swap with it. So let's do that. Looks like this one is just about done. Let me grab this. Now here is the one with the big prompt. I don't think that's necessarily that much better than mine. It is better though. It is better. Here's mine. And then here's theirs. Here's the one with the really long prompt. I do like theirs a bit better, meaning I'd probably go to ChatGPT and get that. So let's go back to this one though. What I'm going to do is just take a quick screen capture of this because it's going to ask me for it. So I'm just going to take a quick screen capture of this face here. There. Now back in Midjourney, I want to go find the command of swap. Here it is, swap ID. I apologize to those. This is very advanced. So if I lost you, I'm very sorry. But ID name, who do I want to swap? Al, A-L. That's who I want to swap. And what image do I want to use? Well, I just did a screen capture of it. So here it is. Now, this couldn't possibly be great because the image is very, you know, there's face makeup and tattoos and it, but let's see what it does. Hit enter here. And what it's now doing is it's taking the picture. Ah, there it is. There is the version that it came up with. Now let's try again and let's use me. I'm going to do swap. Okay. And I'm going to do Pete. And I'm going to attach that same file. Now you can imagine if we had used a file with less drama. In fact, we probably should, just for the sake of this demonstration. Let's see, how's mine look? Oh, there's mine. Okay, so one more, let's do one more thing. Wait, Al, let's make you a corporate headshot. I'm gonna put swap. Okay, headshot, generate custom one-of-a-kind headshots with headshot creator. Oh, it doesn't. No, I don't have that utility. Sorry, I'm not able to. But let's do this instead. We're going to do one more thing here using this example of Al and stuff. I'm going to say imagine, and I'm going to say a businessman with long silver hair posing for a corporate headshot. I'm going to say 8K. I'm going to say dynamic lighting and hit enter. Now this might give me somebody in their 20s or 30s, which then I'll have to make a correction. But let's try this instead of the Viking with all the face makeup and stuff. I didn't realize the face was going to be so difficult to get around. So, and I know we're 3 minutes out here, so I'll try not to go long, but I do like this example we've drummed up here. Okay, so let's and regardless of what it comes up with, we'll just use it. Even though we could iterate and make changes if we want to, shorter hair or you know other iterations. But for the sake of brevity, let's just take one of these. They look so weird as they're painting, but we're at 85%. And we should be just about done. Come on. Okay, there we go. I like them. They're nice. I'll just pick the first one here. This.
It's like Fabio.
It looks like Fabio. Yep. Yep. Okay, I did that. Now I'm going to do swap again. And another thing to keep in mind is the image of Al that I used is very, very low resolution. It's a screenshot. It is not a nice high resolution picture would definitely give different results. But let's see. What? Well, it decided that Al is just handsome enough as he is. It didn't change. Here, let me try that again. Oh, swap ID. ID name is Al, and the image is okay. This man, I messed that up. That was my fault. Here we go. I put a picture of Al's face on a picture of Al's face. I didn't mean to do it that way. Well. Hey, I can see a young Al in there. That's not terrible. But for the first go, that's not bad. If I sat here and iterated for 30 minutes, I could probably really make it a lot better. A higher resolution picture of Al, iterations on hair length and stuff. I'm confident within a half hour we could get to something really good. Carolyn, I see that hand.
Yeah. I just want to let you know, Pete, how much I am appreciating that I've joined in this group today. You gave me an idea that has just changed my world. I have to develop a diet, an 800 calorie per day diet for my daughter, and it's very difficult to do off the internet to get it that restricted. And I've got snack suggestions, menus, recipes. I can't thank you enough.
You're gonna make me tear up. Those are the kind of life-changing things that I love to connect people with. So I appreciate you saying that, Carolyn.
Oh, I am just overwhelmed. I'm speechless. It's
amazing.
I don't know. I mean, I've joked. I used chat one time when a friend's spouse died. And what do I say? You know?
Yes.
But it just didn't occur to me to go to chat for this. I don't know why, but.
Carolyn, let us know how it turns out.
Oh, I've got casserole recipes. I have menus with salmon, and I mean, it's just
nice.
Oh, you already did it.
Yeah, I did it. I took screenshots.
It's done.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice. What's the saying? What's the old saying? It's already ready already.
Long to take screenshots. Yeah.
Do you have Seasons 52 where you live? A restaurant called Seasons 52?
Not.
Yes.
Yes.
At Arden Fair.
Carolyn, Seasons 52 is a restaurant that is committed to every dish being under 500 calories. My wife and I eat there sometimes when we're doing good, but everything on the menu is under 500 calories. So it maybe a suggestion if your diet or if that diet allows that kind of flexibility.
No, it doesn't. It's three meals and 2 snacks.
Oh, in that 8. Okay, yeah. That's a bit more challenging, but yeah.
And the snacks should be 100, and that it is just so restricted. And I've done some work on it, but my gosh, what I accomplished today, it just is.
It's like AI is like a bicycle for accomplishment. It gets you where you're going a lot faster than you would have walking, right? So,
thank you so much.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That really touched me, and really glad that you were able to get that today. Well, that brings us to the end. Let me just say I really appreciate having these times with you. It's I look forward to it. It's one of my favorite engagements is to be here with you, and I hope that shows through in our chats and stuff. Always happy to take all these questions and things, and I'm only an email away if you get stuck on anything or you need help, and just reach out. So again, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Al, I'm sorry, Pete, before you leave, I need to talk to you about future meetings. So when everything is done, okay?
Oh, yeah. So stick around for that. Okay.
Yeah, just for a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Well, that concludes my part, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete, so very much for the excellent information today. And thank you all for coming. And I am signing off.
Thank you, Pete.
I'm not doing it that, I heard you.
Okay, thank you, Thomas.
Oh, yeah, come on. I was just doing something official for once.
See you at 1:15.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, 1:15. All right, we're good.
1 o'clock.
Oh,
1 o'clock,
1 o'clock's good
Bob?
too.
Oh,
Sooner the
okay,
better.
1 o'clock. I'll open up at 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
or a little before, actually. You know how I am.
Okay.
All right, ciao, ciao, bambinos.
And
What?
Pete, we wanted to know if you could, June 26th, if you're available to do the general meeting. So, and if not, suggestions are welcome. It's a Wednesday.
Yep. It's right in the vacation time zone, so let me say yes to it, but
Okay.
also go confer with my wife and just make sure that I didn't pick a date that is in some sort of graduation
Yeah.
zone type of thing. So yes, I'd be happy to, barring that the boss doesn't tell me that that's and I'll let you know immediately at some point, today.
Yes, but trust but verify. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what, yeah, Ronald Reagan. Love it.
Thank you.
Indeed. And if there's more you'd like me to please, there's never enough with this group. I love to be here. I love to check in with you guys. So I told Ken same thing. Fire away as many rounds as you want to send downrange my way. I'm happy to catch them. So.
Well, we love having you, that's for sure. You always make these subjects so that you can kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't totally,
I need to think that
enough
way.
to spark the interest, and then somebody gets something wonderful like, was it Melissa or whoever?
Carolyn, yeah, I think it was Carolyn who was able to
Carolyn,
connect
right.
with something she needed, and that always makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that June date is on the books, and if there are others, shoot them my way, and yeah, looking forward to returning to this Zoom. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care,
So we'll
Pete.
check with
Good to
Ken.
see you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right, ciao.
Okay, gang.
Okay, bye.
Hey, 1
See you
o'clock,
later.
guys.
1 o'clock? Okay.
That's what I thought we last had. Yes, Hal?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Talk
See you
to you
then.
soon. Ciao, ciao. Not everybody's okay. I don't want to be rude. Maybe they're just open.